Day 7.
We all love the main event. It is pressure-packed.
I'm excited, I'm exhausted, all the above.
It is intense.
My head is definitely spinning a bit, I won't lie.
It could be life-changing.
Yes!
On high like a boss.
The players know that making it this far is a great accomplishment.
That's how it begins.
But falling short of the final table will feel like a failure.
I've been running extremely well. I think I've been playing the best poker of my life. I'll hopefully be back here in November.
Must be nice, huh? Must be nice.
We all love the main event. And today, the day before the final table, we love it even more.
The main event day of reckoning is here. Go home or go to the final table.
Yeah, Day 7 right here. Woo!
Absolutely insane, but I'm so happy to be here.
Final day, man. Biggest one, right?
First timer Mike Shin has a top 5 stack, as does Australian pro James Oakst.
Relentless. Never let me breathe. Anywhere I go, you're behind me.
Day 7 is the day where we separate the men from the boys. So I'm feeling good, 19 chips at the moment, and gonna try to make it to the November 9.
Former lawyer turned pro Will Kassouf has work to do.
He's not a card player, he's a speech player. Carry on, Will. He has the best hand at the moment, that's all I'm saying.
The chip leader right now is Czech Republic's Wojciech Brzezinski.
You may remember a certain Czech Republican named Martin Stashko. He finished second wearing plaid. Imagine what Brzezinski can do wearing solid colors.
A couple of our first timers in the middle of the pack, Nowitzki and Cristoforo sitting below the average stack.
Will Kassouf has half the average. Talking at the table can help in the early stages of the main event, but it might not get him that far today.
Will right now standing by to talk to our own Kara Scott down on the main event floor.
Day 7 is about to begin. William, we've seen you as a big stack, chatty on the table, a little bit shorter stacked now. Does that change who you are as a player?
Not really. I'm just going to play my A game, play how I've been from the start of this tournament. I've been playing solid, reading my opponents well, doing speech plays as and when I can, getting my opponents to fold when they got the best hand, getting them to call when I got the nuts. So it's been working effectively. I'm short stacked today. I need to spin it up, but I've got nothing to lose, everything to gain. So this is the final stretch. Spin it up to make the final 9. Let's hope I can do it.
Well, I heard you out there saying hashtag just saying. What's the hashtag for Day 7?
Hashtag spin it up. That's it.
Hashtag spin it up. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like him or hate him, he is entertaining to watch. An unusual position for Will as the table's short stack.
Will is like butter on your movie popcorn lawn. A little is magnificent, a lot can ruin the whole bag.
Also short stacked here is New York pro Jared Bleznick.
In true New Yorker form, Jared always tells it like it is, but I'm tired of hearing him talk about New York pizza.
It's been a lot of fun. I don't play that many tournaments, and this is the one tournament that, you know, everyone dreams about going really far in. I'm not going to be happy unless I do really well and at least make the final table. It's not always about the money. For me, it's not. You know, I really want to do well, and I really want to give myself a chance to win this tournament.
The currency of the moment, orange, green, and lavender, and the mini Frisbees, the red oversized chip worth $500,000 each. Bleznick under the gun, 29-year-old stock day trader, wants to raise to $450.
Why are the orange 5K chips still around? Everyone's got millions.
Bleznick getting no action so far. He has indicated that he likes everything about poker except poker players. Mike Nowitzki, ace-jack of hearts.
Yeah, it's just
25-year-old from Vancouver is as nice as the tournament is long. He calls.
Well, Bleznick doesn't like most poker players, Lon, but he had to get through 6,700 of them to get to this point of the main event.
In the big blind, 29, also from New York, Chris Kusha, a math professor. He calls for 250 more, looking for some lightning in a bottle or the flop. Flop is deuce, jack, king, no lightning for Kusha. Top pair for Bleznick, middle pair for Nowitzki. Kusha checks. Jared checks top pair.
New Yorkers are impatient, so unusual to see Bleznick check that flop.
Yeah, with top pair. All right, checked all around. Turn card 10 of clubs, still nothing for Kusha.
Kusha wishes someone would pull a fire alarm so he could walk away from his hand.
Bleznick is open-ended now. Nowitzki did turn a Broadway draw. Jared bets 650.
I like that Bleznick vocalizes his actions, but he needs to announce them with more authority. He needs to have a little more Lon in him.
Thank you. Nowitzki, with his Broadway draw, will commit 650 more, and Kusha finally has reason to fold. Heads up now to the river. And the river card is, yikes, a queen. Nowitzki rivers Broadway as Bleznick hits kings up. And Bleznick checks.
You need to live a charmed life to advance to November, and Nowitzki's run here has been charmed so far.
It has indeed. The Vancouverite wants some value here. It's a quarter of the pot, 750,000.
He's offering Bleznick 5-1 on a call. It's like he's handing Jared a coupon, begging him to clip it out and bring it in to redeem.
How does Jared get away with kings up?
He's got top two, and he is beflummoxed. What would Nowitzki have that he'd bet so small with?
Ace-Jack.
Ace-Jack means Broadway. Nowitzki gets paid off.
Good hand.
Thank you.
Good hand? That's way too polite for a New Yorker. Check Bleznick's birth certificate.
Mike getting some much-needed ammunition on this most critical day.
Jared Bleznick doesn't like it, but he's got to lump it.
Here we are on day 7 again. However, it's anything but a rest day for the remaining 27 players. Norman, a long time ago, someone wiser than you once said, timing is everything. A phrase certainly wasn't born from a poker game, but it could have been. Bet at the right time and get paid. Call at the wrong time and see your stack decimated. One of the lovable quirks of the game.
Do I believe that timing is everything in poker? Mostly. That's how you and I got here. Well, that and my good looks. You want bad timing? 30 years ago, if I had just made a left toward the produce instead of a right toward the pasta, I never meet my second ex-wife. But I digress. Yes, Lon, at the poker table, timing is key. Bluffing at the right time is great. Bluffing at the wrong time, not so great. But the timing issue that matters the most, taking too much time. So please, look at your cards and act.
3 tables of 9 right now by the end of day 7. Just 1 table of 9. The November 9 will remain. Stay at this featured table. Kusha on the button. Ace, deuce offsuit.
Kusha's been a long-time drummer in a band called To Be Human. I've always wanted to be a drummer.
But you don't play the drums.
That's held me back.
Kusha raises to 425. Bleznick, pocket 9s in the small blind.
Bleznick coaches Pot Limit Omaha. Actually, I've always wanted to coach PLO.
You don't play PLO.
That's held me back.
Bleznick, the short stack at this table. And he wants to 3-bet it to 1,300,000. Kenny Hallaert, Belgian tournament director, in the big blind. He'll get rid of 10-9. So back to Kusha.
Now facing that 3-bet with a weak ace.
Kusha sits with just barely more than Bleznick. And look at this, they're going all in to put Jared all in.
Oh, man. How many weak aces need to go into battle before people realize to fold them pre-flop? Fine for Kusha to raise here, but I'd fold to a re-raise. Bleznick's not messing around with his stack. New Yorkers do not mess around.
And there is the call with 9s and a solid advantage. Kusha, as we mentioned, is almost all in himself.
It's cooler. It's a cooler. It's got what? Not low draw?
Bleznick at risk.
Yeah.
Kusha almost all in for his stack.
Yeah, he would be left with less than 1 big blind should he lose this hand. Is ace deuce against the pocket 9s. Here is the flop.
There's a spade.
No ace.
Not enough spade.
So Bleznick is still good.
Folded that exact hand on the gun.
What is going on?
The amateur looking for any silver lining on that board.
These would make it even more fun.
Who covers?
Turn card.
Here we go.
Kusha with a wheel draw.
I didn't have a
So now Bleznick has to dodge an ace or a 5.
Didn't have a 5.
Rivers another 4. Bleznick has his double up. And hopefully Kusha has Uber on speed dial. Kusha, as mentioned, left with just 120,000.
Here he's there.
7.82.
Nice double up for Bleznick here on day 7, exactly how he drew it up. A costly misstep from Kusha gives Jared Bleznick a workable stack. You can play perfect poker for 6+ days, but one misstep can haunt you a lifetime. Chris Kusha left with less than one big blind after a shove with ace-deuce. His exit from the tourney, nothing more than a formality. Right after losing that big pot to Bleznick, he picked up ace-king, but it could not outrace the pocket fours of Will Kassouf.
He was a drummer with a dream.
Over 269 grand for Chris. Nice showing, a small gain for Kassouf as he tries to rebuild a big stack like a boss. Same payouts, 269 large until we're down to 2 tables. 24-year-old Adam Crack, a first-timer we've been following, currently 23rd of 26. And 40-year-old restaurateur Andrew Christoforou, also a first-timer.
In my day, when you did something the first time, you always failed.
Locked in, but a bit nervous. Real class field out there, so definitely gonna really have to go something to get through it.
Do you research who's at your table?
No, enough. I haven't really gone into it too deep because it might just set my game off, which I don't want to do, but I know there's a lot of good players in there. Just want to make the 9.
I'm Korean, so in Korean culture, there's no such thing as professional poker player. They don't treat it as skill game. And I try to explain to my parents, and my mom's like, yeah, she understands it, but you know, now maybe she'll believe me more. I had a really good night of sleep, so you know, I didn't try and think about too much of poker and just rest. This life-changing money for me, and I'll make sure both of my parents retire if I win the whole thing. Just I'll make it to final 9. That's the whole goal. I mean, I'll try to get the most chips I can, and it'd be nice to be a chip leader, but I'll be fine if I'm in the middle of the pack.
It says, I am unstoppable. Mainly because the T-Rex has the little claw arm. They usually can't do anything with tiny arms, so with the extension, he can do anything. Being nerdy is just so much fun. Like, you just get to do so much stuff that, you know, is only usually acceptable for kids, but it's just like, when you're a nerd, you just do not care at all. Just like watch cartoons, anime, action figures, you know, collecting a bunch of stuff. Bracelet would be excellent. Maybe not the nerdiest thing, but I will add it to my collection if I can. I don't think the gravity of the situation has really settled in. I'm just at the table playing my game, and I feel perfectly comfortable. I do recognize that this is the biggest stage of poker, but I feel totally at home here.
Jack Fleck was a first-timer when he won the 1955 U.S. Open over Ben Hogan in a playoff. It can happen in golf. It can happen in poker.
Dealt ace, jack of spades. Mike just got 3-bet by Kenny Hallaert, holding a bigger ace. Nowitzki calls for $775 more.
Hallaert also feels totally at home being a poker tournament director.
Heads up, 2 healthy stacks. 7-10-8 rainbow, a gut shot for Nowitzki, but Hallaert is still best.
Nowitzki was on seasons 2 through 5 of The Big Bang Theory, left in a contract dispute.
A check from Nowitzki.
Ace-Queen's always a loser, but if you c-bet here, maybe you can turn it into a winner.
Kenny was in the Penn and Teller Theater to cheer on past November Niners Jorrit van Hoof in 2014 and fellow countryman Pierre Neuville last year. Kenny will bet $1,350,000.
Well, Nowitzki does have a gut shot and 2 overs to the board, but I think that bet should do the trick. The best way to win with Ace-Queen is to never get to showdown.
Right? Nowitzki not going anywhere, I guess, with the way he's been running. He does call.
Stubborn, stubborn, stubborn. In the cul-de-sac I grew up in, we did not reward stubborn.
And Nowitzki does it again, turning the jack high straight.
Nowitzki is having a Pavlovian main event. He puts chips in and the board bails him out.
They both check to the river. Ace of clubs changes nothing, even though it hit both players. Hallaert has to be smart here.
You can't fold your way to the November 9, but you can turn and river straight your way to the November 9. We should just change Nowitzki's logo from 888 to 100%.
All right. And that's about a third of the pot, $1,950,000.
How many ways can Ace-Queen find to lose? This would be way number 137.
This week.
Oh, another gulp there from Nowitzki. I trust him, though. I don't think it was a false tell. I think he's nervous.
And a fold from Hallaert. Well done.
Yeah, nice fold from Kenny and a punchline from the straight man.
And that moves Nowitzki into 9th place with almost $16 million. Well, if the main event doesn't work out for Mike Nowitzki, he can always work as a spokesman for 7-Eleven. Sometimes a bust-out hand is just standard bad luck. For Phil Postma, a peek at Queens brought excitement only to find out he had run them into the pocket aces of Australian pro James Obst.
And Obst zeroing in on his 8th top 20 finish at a World Series event.
We have talked about some of the health issues James has had. Nice to see him in full recovery mode, playing this main event at a very high level.
Why is every chess player washed up at 25? It seems you hit your chess prime around first grade. It's worse than gymnastics.
He did represent Australia in 3 World Junior Chess Championships with 10-5 of hearts. In the big blind, he checks his option after Michael Ruan called from the small blind with 10-7 and a 10 for both. So Ruan's hand is best with the better kicker.
Ruan started playing poker as a teenager, played a lot of tournaments online before Black Friday, and he's never had a job. Nobody has a job anymore.
The blind on blind dynamic, very interesting. Throw in the fact that these guys are 2 big stacks, and you add some extra fuel to the fire. Ruan does bet 225.
Obst also started playing as a teenager. He also has never had a job. Nobody has a job anymore.
Obst with his pair of 10s and the lesser kicker raises to 725.
You know who actually does have a job? The dealers here, and they do a fine, fine job.
And they never get enough love from the players.
On the wall in my office, I have a photo of every dealer who's ever busted me out of a World Series event.
That's got to be one big wall.
Good for you.
Ruan calls for $500,000 more. Turn card, Jack of Hearts. Ruan still best, and he checks. Both players check the overcard. The river, 5 of clubs. Obst scores 2 pair on the river to overtake Michael.
Poker's not fair. Poker's not fair. Poker's not fair.
You said it 3 times, Norman.
Because poker's not fair.
Ruan checks again. Now Obst with 2 pair.
And the way this hand has played, and with that board, 10s and 5s must feel like the nuts to James Obst.
Obst bets $1,600,000. Pretty hefty there.
When you scrunch your face like that, you're either beat or you're trying to digest some spoiled bulgogi. And the thing is, what can Obst have? It doesn't add up. I would probably call here with a lonely pair of 10s.
Well, I'm sure there are several reasons to fold, but you can't win playing scared poker. How does Ruan read this situation? And he gives it up. A nice fold for whatever reason.
Nobody has a job anymore.
Good folds are right up there with good calls. A penny saved, but Ruan will file that hand away under "Did I just get played?" Back at our main feature table, Mike Nowitzki with a lot of chips. You saw him earlier in the first timers piece. This 25-year-old from Canada went from a BA in psychology to life as a poker pro.
Well, unless you're pre-med, every major these days seems to lead to poker. And this guy thinks Game of Thrones is the best show ever? Okay, pal, I guess TV didn't exist until you were born.
He's in the big blind with Queen 7 suited. From the button, another main event first-timer, Valentin Vornicu, raised to 450 with 10-8 off. And Mike makes the call. Here's the flop. 8 tray queen, top pair for Nowitzki, middle pair for Vornicu. A check from Nowitzki.
Nowitzki with the best hand pre-flop and on the flop, so clearly he's very uncomfortable here.
4-1 dog, bets 525.
What about yourself?
Huh?
What are you?
I think I'm like 19.
19, okay.
First timers exchanging financial portfolios.
Vornicu with a better stack by $3 million. Mike Nowitzki just calls. Turn card. 10 of spades, and Vornicu comes up big, turning 2 pair.
Nowitzki cannot make a straight on this hand, so he is in trouble.
Mike checks. Vornicu checks back. Ace of diamonds on the river changes nothing here. Vornicu's hand is best.
I don't understand Vornicu's check on the turn, but I'm just a guy with a part-time job who thinks Hill Street Blues and The Sopranos might have been better TV shows than Game of Thrones.
Nowitzki checks again. Vornicu, a first-time main eventer, but does have 8 World Series circuit rings, and he bets $925,000.
Nowitzki looks very beflummoxed, or maybe he just ordered the bulgogi from the same restaurant as Ruan.
Mike seems very curious about what Valentin has, and there's a call.
That was good. Nice hand.
It is indeed.
That hand makes sense.
Of course it makes sense after you see it. Game of Thrones is the best show ever.
Huh? Yeah, I check all flop. Check, check, check.
You can't win them all. Valentin on the rise. Vornicu once the chip leader, trying to regain his footing atop this main event. Back inside the Amazon room where Cliff Josephy sits with the second biggest stack.
It's awesome. I mean, it's awesome. This is the thrill. This is the main event. This is what everybody dreams about. This is the one tournament that everybody wants to go deep in or win. So obviously it's a huge rush, but try not to get too far ahead of myself and just play my cards as they come and not do anything stupid.
Not doing anything stupid. I could have used that advice in 1984, Cliff. Thanks.
In the big blind with 4 deuce, Cliff can see a free flop after Matt Moss in the small blind just called with pocket tens. There is the flop 4 deuce 9. Oh my, Josephy nails 2 pair.
Well, actually, Moss likes that flop, but of course, Josephy likes it more.
Moss bet a third of the pot, and now Cliff with bottom 2. This is not just a call. Wow, that is a raise to 900,000, a big raise, 4.5 times the bet.
Moss, 24-year-old British pro, youngest player left in the field, another guy who's never had a job.
Casually, quickly calls for 700,000 more. Turn card jack of diamonds. Moss now checks. His sensors are perhaps picking up something.
Josephy came here this morning straight from working an ER shift at Summerlin Hospital Medical Center. Traffic was so bad, so he couldn't change out of his scrubs.
Cliff knows it's critical to get value out of big opportunities such as this. He knows Moss has already called a big raise on the flop. Josephy now bets 2/3 of the pot.
And yes, Moss is beflummoxed. Because he didn't raise pre-flop, Moss has no sense of what Josephy has.
The Macau cash game regular trying to decipher the old pro. Who can blame him with that call? River card. Another 4 gives Josephy a full house. Talk about a big blind special. Moss checks again.
I think Cliff here goes 2.5, maybe 2.6 million to ensure a call. He sizes this too big, he might lose him.
Well, 3.1.
Too big, Lon. The fish is going to wriggle off the hook. It's my job to know these things.
And now Moss has all radar and antenna up.
Well, I will say this. 10s and 4s seem pretty good here, and maybe Josephy just kept firing with a flush draw.
Moss lays it down. Nice fold.
Very nice fold. And the ex-stock guy and fictional ER guy has a lot of chips.
What a gift that 4 deuce was. What a gift that pre-flop limp was from Moss. Cliff Josephy, once again, the chip leader. Matt Moss feeling the pain. 25 players remain. And though he's not the chip leader anymore, Michael Ruan is enjoying a big stack here on day 7. Part of his success comes from his tight-knit family back in New Jersey.
We all grew up in Maywood. It's one of those kind of towns, you know, and I think it's really special. It's just like one of the coolest places to grow up, man. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I have a twin brother, Jimmy.
Mike is 6 minutes older than me, so he's the older brother.
A younger brother, Sean, who's 23, who also plays poker.
This family has just always been super close. Everyone's always lived in the same small town.
The best! My younger sister, Mairead.
When we were growing up, I mean, it was always them 3, and I was a tomboy until I was like 15.
So this is the school I went to as a kid.
The 4 of us hadn't been back to that school together in probably 10 years.
It's been a while. How are you? Good to see you. Mr. Timmons is a really close, I mean, he was my coach growing up, but he's been a close family friend for just as long, if not longer.
A lot of memories with just your family.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at Mikey here.
Mikey, this is yours.
Where? It's one of yours.
Oh,
wow, yeah.
Yeah, there he is right there. There's Jimmy.
This is like the Rowan family book. That's a great memory right there. I coached all 4 of them and their sister, Mairead, who was the best out of all of them. Yeah. It's a long period of time.
Jimmy and I both were in the hot shot competitions for each tournament, and we both won the same year as twins. So we got a banner up here.
Let's see if you still got it.
As soon as he left his hand, I was like, that's definitely going in.
Still got a little bit of it, a little bit of the form in me.
Get in.
Oh, no way. We're out, yeah.
Under pressure.
It's his gym. It's his gym right here.
easy to make jump shots if no one's covering you. It's like it's easy for me to make 3 bets when I'm playing video poker.
Ruan on the button with 9-8 of clubs after Spaniard Fernando Pons opened under the gun with king-queen of diamonds. Ruan calls for 450,000. James Opes in the small blind with 7s just calls. And now Qui Win, the local, with a taste for baccarat with 9-6.
And Qui Win still wearing that hat. A friend needs to set up an intervention.
All right, Win with great pot odds for him. Does call. 4-way flop now. And the flop is Queen 7. Jack Opes comes up big with a set of 7s. Ruan picks up a straight flush draw. The table chip leader Opes checks and Win checks.
Pons flops top pair, big kicker. He's going to bet, and he's 4%.
With the pair of queens, does bet 625. Ruan now with that straight flush draw.
I'd like to immediately apologize to Michael. That was a pretty good-looking jump shot.
Norman, at what point do you fold a straight flush draw?
I do not. Not in this or any subsequent lifetime.
Ruan putting some big chips together. And that is a raise to $2,025,000.
Well, I think Opes has exactly what he wants. But remember, Pons raised under the gun pre-flop, so it's possible he could have pocket queens or jacks, and then this would be a set over set situation.
Opes with the set of 7.
5.3.
Wants to re-raise to 5.3 million. Get out of my pot. Win folds. Pons does get out of the way. Back to Ruan now.
Who's thinking, oops, I might be in big trouble. He could be facing a set or even an ace-high flush draw here.
Pot's already almost 10 million. Both of these gentlemen started the hand with more than 22 million in front of them, and there's a call from Ruan.
No give up in Micro Ruan right now.
My goodness. Turn card now. What a pot we've got going. Is the 10 of clubs, Ruan with the straight flush. I don't remember the last time we saw a straight flush, Norman.
I'm sorry, Lon. That card seems beyond the realm of realistic human possibility.
It's so exciting. Opes checked it.
Opes does know it was very possible Ruan was on a flush draw.
And now Michael Ruan with the nuts of the nuts. Doesn't slow play at a bet of 3.75 million.
The pot is swelling. Opes has got to call and hope the board pairs.
Well, he still loses if the board pairs.
He doesn't know that. We can see all the hole cards. They can't.
Oh, okay. Opes has to have concerns about that board, but the bet was so small from Ruan, and he still has possibilities in his mind. He makes the call.
We don't see that many straight flushes. What a time for Micro Ruan to turn one.
And the river card, another 10. Opes improves to that full house, but it's useless.
That is cruel and unusual punishment for James Opes. I don't know if he can take any legal action here, but I would defend him.
4.7.
Opes is going to try to get value for what he thinks is the best hand, 4.7 million.
Yeah, he bets just less than quarter of the pot. And if Opes somehow can get away from this hand after Ruan raises, he just saved himself some chips.
To Michael Ruan. He raises all in.
Look at the size of this pot. If Opes calls here, he'll be left with less than 20 big blinds. This is a life-changing cooler in progress. Considering the stage of the main event we're at, this reminds me of the Jonathan Duhamel Matt Affleck pot in 2010 that propelled Duhamel to the title and sent Matt home. I will say this, if you're Opes with 7s full and Ruan has shoved all in, what can he have? He might have you beat.
So it looks like he had a straight flush. Could be the best actor of all time.
Wow, what a laydown. Ruan will collect that mountain of chips.
A big laydown. And now we have a new big stack.
A massive hit to the stack of James Opes. But the story is the new chip leader, Michael Ruan, making Maywood, New Jersey proud.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high roller bowl 7 champion. Oh yeah!
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Gordon Vail enjoying a little time in between levels. In golf, it's impressive to shoot your age or below. In poker, it's impressive to have the same number of World Series cashes as your age. Vail with cash number 27 here, and he turned 27 during this main event.
Vail's father, a contemporary classical music composer. His mother, orchestra director at his high school. Gordon didn't graduate high school because he missed too many classes playing poker.
A raise to 450 with ace jack.
By the way, how do you get kicked out of the high school where your mother works? How?
Sometimes the rules are a little different for the children of the teachers. My mom was a teacher in my school, and I was held to a different standard myself. And the big blind, Kenny Hallaert, 6 tray of clubs.
The tournament director calls himself a recreational player, but he recreates pretty well. 6 cashes at the 2015 World Series, including 123rd in the main event and 5th in the Colossus, which had 22,000 entries.
And he calls for 250,000 more.
This pot will be contested, Lon.
I'm sitting right next to you. I can see that.
Oh, I thought you might have an obstructed view.
King 5, Jack 2 clubs. Middle pair for Vail, a flush draw for Hallaert.
Action flop, Lon, like in the movies.
This isn't the movies, it's the main event.
I said like in the movies. Don't get your shorts all bunched up.
Check, check. 10 of hearts on the turn.
Vail didn't c-bet the flop. So Hallaert says, let me see if I can just pick this pot up right here.
Vail did pick up a Broadway draw there. But Kenny wants to take a shot, 925,000. Vail comes along.
He'll hang around with second pair and that Broadway draw.
River card. A third heart out there.
Hallaert hits 5th pair, not a particularly good hand. He can be sneaky aggressive. This is sneaky aggressive.
Wow. Sneaky aggressive, bets 1.6 million to Vail, who actually has the best hand with his pair of jacks. And he folds to the aggressive line taken by Kenny.
Yeah, Vail didn't like it. Hallaert's a sneaky tournament director. I might opt not to play in his tournaments.
Kenny Hallaert now approaching 13.5 million. Think Gordon should have called that river? Let's find out what our resident pros have to say.
Wow, day 7 of the main event. It's here. Crazy.
And you look like we got out of kindergarten.
I look great, kid. Everyone knows that flash trumps the tie. It's clear.
Cannot believe you dressed like this for television. It's confusing to me.
It's poker. It's a little
Get some better clothes, please.
Enough.
Vail, standard open.
Yep.
The check back on the flop when he flops second pair ace kicker. Interesting. I like it. Control the size of the pot.
When he takes that line, keeping the pot small, he's inviting Hallaert to basically off some money with bluffs, etc. I think he's supposed to call. Yes, he does. But then that call invites one more potential bluff. I think it's call. I mean, it's a tough play, but you've got to...
It's easier to say he should call when we see that it's a call. But, you know, the flush draw did get there. But when you take that line on the flop and check back second pair ace kicker, I think you almost just always have to call there on the river and just pray for the best.
Agreed.
We need a pro wardrobe analysis next season, and I'm not kidding.
Vail needing to find a rush here on day 7. There's no tomorrow for you in the main event unless you are a November Niner. Hallaert with ace-10 of diamonds and a raise to 475.
By the way, Phil and Antonio love playing with other people's chips, and you know why? Because they never have any chips of their own. Pro analysis, my foot.
One of our first-timers, Valentin Vornicu, with queens on the button.
Valentin was laughing, and then he looked down at those pocket queens, and now he is not laughing.
He has more chips than anyone at this table except Cliff Josephy.
You got about 12?
Kenny doesn't have to answer. He's got about 13 million. And a re-raise from Valentin to $1.1 million.
Vornicu, the San Diego math teacher with 8 circuit rings. He defeated 2015 November Niner Patrick Chan heads up to win one of them.
Vail folds his small blind. Nowitzki his big. Back to Hallaert now.
Ace-10 suited looks prettier than it is, particularly when you are facing a 3-bet.
Hallaert, oh, a little lean there. And that says call. Yeah, he does come along for 625 more. Here's the flop. It is 10, 10, 7. Hallaert scores big with trip tens. Good call, Kenny. Hallaert checked it.
Queens almost always look good in this spot.
They're not good here.
I said almost always look good. You should listen more carefully.
My sense is that I shouldn't listen at all.
Okay.
Vornicu with $1,225,000 with queens up now. Queens up coming in second place. Kenny just calls with his trip tens.
And by just calling their lawn, Kenny does not reveal the true contents of his hand.
6 of clubs. Hallaert still good. He checks again.
I suspect Vornicu will bet here.
If Pro Analysis ever has an opening, you really should be first in line to get it, Norman.
Thank you.
Vornicu bets $2.2 million.
You know, if a tournament director plays a tournament and wins, he should automatically become the tournament director of that tournament in perpetuity. Kind of like King of the Hill. So look out, Jack Effel.
Interesting rule. Just a call from Kenny. This pot's swelling now to almost 9.6 million. Another small card, no flushes got there, only unlikely straights. How will Hallaert proceed? He checks a third time. Valentin hasn't disappointed him yet. Vornicu. Chips in hand. $2,650,000.
Small wager, a value bet, giving Hallaert almost 5 to 1 on a call. Is there such a thing as a value raise?
If you say so, Master.
Well, we're about to see one, baby.
All in. Call.
Nice hand.
Hallaert gets the double up.
Well, Valentin could have checked the river, and he should have folded to the shove.
Nice hand. Almost checked the river, but I was like, there's no way you're checking a 10.
And then Valentin insta-called that shove.
That raises a few eyebrows.
Nice hand.
Kenny got value on every street by checking. Hallaert leaps into third place after that big pot came his way. First-timer Valentin takes a beating. He is cut down to 38 big blinds.
Almost checked. Almost checked. 7,
A successful check raise on the river puts Kenny Hallaert in the top 3. Look out, Jack. A huge moment for two players we've been following closely. Hallaert with the crafty check raise, Vornicu with the less than crafty call.
Sometimes a hand beats you up, and then you get beat up worse afterward because you have the wrong frame of mind.
Vornicu has ace-10 this time, though not suited. He raises to $450,000 from under the gun +1. Folded around to Cliff Josephy on the button with 2 black 4s. Josephy calls.
Another reason I like Cliff Josephy, he looks at his cards immediately, doesn't wait. Big points for that.
Heads up, he and Vornicu. Flop is Jack, King, King. Josephy with 2 pair. Now Vornicu with a Broadway draw. This one's still up for grabs. Valentin bets $400,000. Josephy maybe channeling a little Kenny Hallaert with the raise to $900,000.
This is a dicey time for Vornicu. His stack has slipped. Emotionally, he might still be reeling from that Hallaert hand.
Pocket 4s are best for Josephy with the 2 kings on board. Now look at this, Norman. A re-raise from Vornicu, and quickly Josephy folds.
From the danger zone back to the winning zone. Nicely done, Valentin.
So Vornicu picks up a few chips and maybe repairs his poker creds somewhat. Cliff Josephy suffers the small hit.
Yeah, Cliff gets outplayed there by Valentin, but not a very big pot.
Well, you can easily sense the shift in the field's overall demeanor here on day 7 of the main event. It's the biggest day of their poker lives. One of the players we have been tracking is Mike Shin. Kara Scott has more on where he comes from.
Mike Shin from Milwaukee is playing in the main event for the very first time, and he has a really lovely goal. Not only is he trying to make the final table, but he also hopes to make enough money to help his mother retire. And as for Mike, if he should win the main event, he says he won't quit his job right away. He manages a number of cell phone stores, and he'd hate to leave the guys who work for him high and dry. Poker is important, but the people around you are more important.
Lon, if I can take a moment here, poker is important, but the people around me are more important, and yes, you are the most important one of all.
Give me a moment, please. Mike Shin at the cutoff. One before the button with King 9 of diamonds. It has been folded to him with just under 18 million. He raises to 430,000. Obst in the small blind folds. Qui Nguyen now in the big blind with pocket sixes.
After coming to the U.S. from Vietnam, Nguyen's lived in California, then Alaska, then Florida, now Las Vegas. Somewhere along the way, he came upon this hat.
I did ask him about the hat. He says it's done to dare his opponents to come into his lair and take his chips.
It would dare me just to rip it off the top of his head and toss it into the trash heap.
Nguyen calls for 230 more. Heads up, the flop is King 5-5. Nguyen is way behind now as Shin flops kings up, and he's a big favorite.
Nguyen owned a nail salon before gravitating to poker, baccarat, and gambling full-time.
He checks it to Shin. Mike bets 500,000.
Well, Nguyen missed the flop, but if Shin doesn't have a king, he might figure his pocket sixes are good here.
Nguyen, starting as the short stack at this table with just over 5 million, commits another $500,000 just in case. Turn card now. Jack of hearts. Status quo. Qui Nguyen, pinky check again.
That is a temporary tattoo on Shin's right arm, but he just won't wash it off.
Mike checks back, perhaps wary of Nguyen's call on the paired flop. River card is a 6, and Nguyen comes up big, scoring sixes full. He got a free ride on the turn and now bets $1.5 million.
Poker is not fair. You know, I think I could sell at least 5,000 Poker is Not Fair t-shirts at the Rio alone.
Well, that wouldn't be fair.
Well, right now, Shin trying to figure it out. Nguyen would have a better chance of getting paid off here if it had been the 6 of diamonds hitting the river. Clubs got there, so Shin might give it up.
And indeed, Mike does just that. Shin loses a few chips, still a very healthy top 10 stack. Qui Nguyen now working his way up, 26 big blinds. But a fine fold from Shin, a much-needed pot for Nguyen as he pulls himself off the mat. During our last break, Kara Scott spoke with Cliff Josephy.
So you came into day 7 with a really healthy stack. Have you been able to play the game that you wanted to here?
I'm just playing my game. It's been slow moving at the table. Everyone's taking a long time. Some of these guys are leaving the table, and the dealer can't reach for their ante chips when the next hand is ready to go. So it's a little frustrating. I'm not going to let it bother me, but I'd like the pace to pick up a little bit.
I was speaking as well to one of the other players at the table. It says that for the better players, this definitely doesn't favor them. You're not getting as many hands in. So is that also your opinion there?
I agree 1,000,000%. Yeah, I mean, I want to get some hands in. I want to play poker. You can't limp into the final table. I want to, the goal is to get to the final table with a chip stack. And if you play more hands, you have a chance to do that. So we all want to win. And the best way to win is to play as many hands as possible.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, that was easy.
What was Cliff worried about? I would venture that Kara has injured fewer than 8% of the players she's interviewed for us. All right. Cliff just opened for $550,000 with 9-6 of diamonds, and the blinds are up to $120,240 and a $40K ante. Jared Bleznick comes along with Queen 10 of hearts.
And the call.
Kassouf folds a small blind. Vornicu with a small ace in the big gives it up.
2 New Yorkers with Wall Street chops. I'm sure they'll be perfectly polite to each other.
Here at the flop, deuce 10-7, 2 hearts. Josephy with a gut shot. Bleznick with top pair and a flush draw. Cliff has the action.
Josephy says, I have gray hair. I don't bluff very often. I guess he was bluffing when he said that.
900,000 from Josephy.
Bleznick, 29 years old, 217th at the 2014 main event. He was runner-up to Daniel Alai in 2013 in the 10K PLO World Series event.
29-year-old with almost 900,000 in World Series career winnings, and he calls there for 900,000 tournament chips. Turn card now. King of clubs. Bleznick is still best.
Well, Josephy's hair is going to get grayer if he keeps bluffing at it and Bleznick keeps calling him.
Josephy reaching. He is quick to act. Oh, a little more. 1,900,000.
I'm crunching the numbers, Lon. Bleznick with great pot odds here. He's getting almost 3-1 on a call, and he's a 93% favorite.
As always, my friend, you are spot on. Bleznick makes the call. Josephy with twice the stack as Bleznick. River card, another 7. Bleznick's 2 pair. 10s and 7s are best.
Yeah, Cliff Josephy whiffs again. Will he fire again?
Oh, yeah. Big stack pressure coming your way, Jared Bleznick. 3.7 million.
This is a tough call. Bleznick missed his flush. He does have 2 pair, but it's for 40% of his remaining stack. And Josephy has fired on every street. Plus, he's got gray hair, so he doesn't bluff.
Little shake of the head from Jared Bleznick. And he does lay it down.
Don't mess with Wall Street.
Cliff rapidly gets stacking and readies himself for the next hand as Bleznick drops into 18th place. Jared Bleznick couldn't pull the trigger on the river. Bleznick outplayed in that hand, but that doesn't happen too often. This New York pro has been a successful poker player for quite some time.
He's a jack of many trades, day trader, real estate, sports betting, fantasy sports, poker. He knows how to multitask, and as he's admitted, he knows how to multi-account.
Bleznick has to rebuild his stack and do it here on day 7 or go home. King Jack, a raise to 500,000. Will Kassouf has been pretty quiet lately. Ace-10 of diamonds, though.
Started with bet 9.
Sorry?
With bet 9.
He's getting a bit short-stacked. Maybe that accounts for the being quiet business.
Short stack at this table. Kassouf calls. Anybody else? Nope. So heads up, Bleznick and Kassouf.
Me and the master. What, you raise and then you look, Jared? Wow, different gravy. Wow.
All right, here at the flop. King 10-9, 2 diamonds. They both like that.
Action flop, Lon, like in the movie.
Just like in the movies. Yeah, I've heard it before. Hey, I saw Suicide Squad, and there was no action flops in that movie.
Okay.
Bleznick has the action. Top pair and a gut shot. 650,000. Kassouf with middle pair and nut flush draw.
They come from all over to hear Will's famed speech play, but it's still on hiatus.
Standard C-bet, right? Bet whatever comes.
I stand corrected.
Okay. In case you're bluffing.
He calls.
Will you make a call?
Turn card now. 6 of diamonds, and Kassouf scores the nut flush. Bleznick.
Got any diamonds? Have a look, have a look. I don't want you to make a mistake, please. If you double me up and you misread your hand, that'd be awful. I don't take your chips by default. I've looked.
Will's regained his voice.
Have a look, just in case. But if you know what you have, fair enough. That's good.
Bleznick has no diamonds. He checks.
Check.
Wow, slow down, huh? I'm gonna fire a second bullet. Find out where you are. I must be ahead then, right? You want me to bet or you want me to check? What do you want me to do? Talk to me. Don't be shy. Heads up. Say what you like. Cameras are rolling. If you don't say anything, I might have to bet you. Might even be bluffing with the best hand.
To me, Will's speech play is fascinating because it really is high risk, high reward. He uses it to take advantage of his opponent, but he potentially gives away a lot of stuff himself. The better players, I think, can exploit it.
With the nut flush.
And yes, Cliff, I agree. He takes way too long to act.
That is his main crime.
Clock.
Matt Moss agrees with me and Cliff.
I've got a legit hand here. I'm just thinking what to do. Not wasting time. I'm just thinking, I don't want to bet here and he jams on me and I've got a decision.
Tanking with the nuts.
You and I can get along really well.
How long do I have? 1 minute?
Fine.
Make a thin value bet, find out where I am.
Fires
you
away.
got it.
$1,510,000.
I know if I check the turn, you're going to bluff me on the river, so. 1.5. I'm going to show him and fold.
And there's the fold.
I had it. The absolute coconuts. Absolute. But you'll see it on TV. You'll see that one on TV.
Sometimes he lies, sometimes he tells the truth. This time he did have the absolute coconuts.
Did you really just say that?
There's no way you have the coconuts, I can tell you that.
I had the coconuts. Why can't I have the coconuts?
It's impossible for you to have the coconuts.
Why?
Look, depends what you mean by coconuts.
The absolute coconuts. Do you not know what I mean? You've learned from yesterday. Remember I taught you what the absolute coconuts was?
Valentin fishing for some info there. Will did have the absolute coconuts.
Did you really say that again?
Will's got the opposite of absolute coconuts. Pocket jacks.
Notice he always raises your blind.
I hadn't noticed that.
No, I haven't. It's been Cliff's blind, I think.
Maybe just don't say anything while it's his turn, because it's only going to slow things down.
He started, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm telling him to not say anything.
He can say what he likes.
Yeah, he can say what he likes, but it's just going to slow you down even more.
Oh, is it? I don't mind. I've got all day.
Well, I don't even understand the advantage you're getting out of this. Like, it's just
I'm
wasting your own
thinking,
time.
I've got a hand here.
The camera's on him, what do you mean? That's the advantage he's getting.
All right, hang on.
I think they'll edit this bit out.
Kassouf's like a low-grade fever. You keep expecting it to go away, but it doesn't.
6-10.
Will's welcome, wearing thin here with 25 players left. He raises to 610,000. Veo folds, Novinsky folds to the big blind, Matt Moss. King 7.
Moss bothered a bit by Kassouf and bothered enough to call him with a bad hand out of the big blind.
Always dangerous, playing right into Will Kassouf's hands. Heads up, here's the flop. Queen Ace 6. Moss comes up empty. Kassouf hates those overcards. It's check to Will. Will checks back. Turn card. Another queen. Moss checks again.
Kassouf unusually subdued this hand.
Kassouf checks again. River card. Another 6. So Moss is playing the board to pair with the ace. And now Moss looking at his chips. Two pretty even stacks to start the hand. He bet 635.
Only way you can win the pot, right? Bluff at it. Figuring you're playing the board. So if I think you're playing the board, I don't know if I can pass, can I? I have to look you up, especially with this big hand. Slow played this hand as well. Even thinking of raising you here for value, but that will waste another 3-4 minutes. Just make sure I still got it. 635.
Board.
Kassouf rubs salt in the wound with the whirly-bird tabling of the cards. Wild Bill Hickok used to do that.
Kassouf climbs a couple of notches on the leaderboard with that pot.
He's got talking chips again.
Took you that long to raise with jacks.
Sorry?
Took you that long to raise with jacks.
To raise with? I didn't raise with jacks.
Huh? Pre-flop?
Pre-flop. Oh, pre-flop, yeah. I was thinking of how much to raise. I could bet what I like, right? I'm allowed to think how much to bet.
I'm not saying you're restricted there.
I took too long to think how much to bet. Is there a time limit?
More than most
I want
people.
to get the right bet sizing with my pair.
Players can talk about it till the cows come home, and sometimes the cows never come home, but raising's at 2.5 or 2.9 or 3.1x. It makes no difference. Make a raise and do it quickly.
Next door, main event first-timer Adam Crack raised with queens. It's been folded to Antoine Saout, a November niner from 2009. That was his first main event.
All in.
Saout says, all in with my sevens.
All in and in trouble.
Oh, wow. Kakwan Lau in the small blind with pocket aces.
This guy's in trouble too, then.
Lau shoves with a bigger stack. John Senna, the big blind folds. Now Crack with the queens.
You call?
And he calls, and Kakwan Lau has the best starting hand of the game with two opponents at risk.
Three-way, all pocket pair, all hoodie, all in. Lau looking for the double knockout.
Where I had Jack 10 suited, they have queens, aces, and sevens.
Kakwan Lau looking to get healthier here. 9-8-8. Lau and his aces dance through the fire on that flop.
Saout and Crack can share a ride out of the Rio.
Here comes the turn card.
Turn card now is a 7. Saout with a little November niner magic hits sevens full.
Well, you don't make it to November on skill alone. What a lucky turn for Antoine Saout.
Lau and Crack drawing thin to the river. The river card. Oh, it's an ace! Lau with a bolt of river lightning striking down two players.
How does that happen? Even when poker is fair, it's not fair. How about Antoine Saout, 3rd in 09, 25th this year?
First-timer Adam Crack officially 24th. Lau pulling a rabbit out of his hat, now sits with almost 24.5 million chips. It was an ace heard round the Amazon room. Kakwan Lau sends Antoine Saout and Adam Crack into the Vegas night.
Only way you can win the pot, right? Bluff at it. We've been thinking of raising you here for value, but that will waste another 3-4 minutes.
Fold.
Will Kassouf was quiet for a bit, but he's back to his old tricks.
It's like a tape recorder. Just press play. He'll say exactly what you think he's going to say.
Little needle there? It was a big needle. Big needle?
Yeah.
I felt a little jab in my side.
You know, if you're going to talk so much, just maybe don't be like such a recording over and over the same over and over.
You want me to feed you a different line next time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I'll
come up with a new line for you.
I would like, at least I can
Okay, I'll give you,
get into the table
line.
talk if there's something original.
All right, I'll show you. Don't worry about that.
Theo with a suited 10-9 raises to 525.
They're rounding up a posse to come after Will for too much talk and too much slow play.
Short stack here, Jared Bleznick on the button with pocket eights.
Pocket eights and 27 big blinds.
Considering moving all in, maybe, on the button. That's just a call. Hallaert with trays.
Hallaert with a tiny pocket pair, but he's got 100 big blinds, and he's getting a small blind discount.
405 more to call, and that's what he does now in the big blind. Will Kassouf. You have cards, Will. Oh, and he's got a hand. Queens.
He has a big hand, and he has the floor.
Will filibuster Kassouf.
Clock.
It's not been that long.
I'm going to keep calling the clock. This is ridiculous.
I've got a big decision.
Clock.
Huge.
You have a big decision every hand, with
I'm getting big hands. You won't believe them.
I don't care.
It means that much to you. I'll show you at the end of this hand.
Start the clock.
Well, this is the boy who cried wolf scenario. When Kassouf has a real decision, he's not accorded time because he takes so much time every time.
2.2 million.
A 3-bet to 2.2 million. Veo folds.
I told you I wasn't messing about.
These pocket eights have shrunk for Bleznick.
He hates to give away any chips, but has to fold.
Save your chips, Ken. If you fold and show, I'll show. Monster hand. No bluffing. You gonna show? If you show, I'll show. Put down to Ken. If you show,
You're going to show them anyway. You said
I said if you show.
You said you'd show anyway.
I said if you show, I'll show.
No, you said you're going to show them anyway.
Okay. You'll see it on TV. You'll see it on TV.
Okay, they'll show that.
You'll see that one on TV.
He did say he'd show, didn't he?
He did. Will Kassouf promised he'd show, and Norman wants a replay review.
If it means that much to you, I'll show you at the end of this hand. If it means that much to you, I'll show you at the end of this hand.
It means that much to you, I'll show you at the end of this hand.
The prosecution rests.
He changed it. He changed the script. Then it was if you show, I'll show. Yeah. The script changed.
I'll mix it up there. That's a different line, right? We've got to mix it up.
It was a
It's a new
different line, but I'm pretty sure someone else has heard it over the course of this
changed
tournament.
it because you said you would show him.
You haven't heard it today. Of course you heard it over the tournament.
That's the way you changed it.
Have you heard of gambling with the nuts? With the redraw to the monkey nuts, the river of the absolute coconuts? Yeah, that's what I do. That's how I play. Nuts, monkey nuts, absolute coconuts. You can't make it up. You won't believe me. Put your chips in the pot, I'll go on, and you'll see.
This is part of the
When I
script.
get my
I've
big
heard this
chips in,
about 9
you get
times
it wrong.
already.
You won't have 3 outs with ace high. You won't have 2 outs with a pair. You'll have 1 out the door, and you'll be favourite to hit
It's
it.
difficult to come up with new material when you've got the IQ of a parrot.
This is it. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Does that mean you got IQ of a goldfish then, or what? Or memory of a goldfish at least? We got the banter going now. We cracked the smile all the way from Macau to have a laugh at the table. Look, it's like the circus there on the feature table, the main event. Is this the 10k main event? The 10k bowl comp? Right. How much are we in for?
122.40.
122.40. Okay.
I'm your only fan.
You are a fan. You know what? I'll keep it friendly just because you're my neighbour. Because I like you. I should really raise with this hand.
I'm the only guy who doesn't hate you here.
Exactly. I don't know if he's got. Do you all hate me? He loves me. I'm like Marmite back in the UK.
I
I love me or you hate me.
I said I don't hate you.
Hate's a strong word.
Hate's a strong word.
That's a
yeah.
very strong word.
All I'm going to say is hate is going to hate.
I'm just disdainful of you.
They see me
Is that like
rolling.
you?
They're hating. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I come for you? Bad boys. Yeah.
If we
Want
laugh,
me
he
to serenade?
That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to serenade you all now? Yeah?
But at least he's...
I'm coming. I told you, whoever doubles me up, you get a free rub down.
something different.
I don't charge, you get a free rub down. I've said that line, but I'll stick to it. I'm a man of my word. You get a free rub down if you double me up.
Who's it on?
I'm just looking at
That's what I thought.
Yeah. You thought correct. Good observation. It's on me. This guy over here. This sicker in the small blind. I think I'm taking the donk lead like a boss. Thinking about it, I might have to do it as well. Protect my hand. Oh dear, Valentin. What do I do, Valentin? I've got to protect my hand, man. I've got the best hand at the moment, that's all I'm saying.
420,000.
No bluffing. You know me, I got my chips in good.
Illinois business owner Chad Freed, who finished 70th at this main event, told me he calls the 7-deuce the whip, worst hand in poker.
Okay. 2 overs, right?
5 of diamonds, and Kassouf turns the straight, playing 7-deuce.
Kassouf has turned the worst hand in poker into the best hand at the moment.
I've got to find out. 900.
Half the pot again.
You got it.
Boy, I don't see Valentin surrendering here easily. Blind versus blind. He's got top pair with a draw to an 8-high straight.
Kassouf now just with a 7-high straight.
Folding, man. Got the best hand at the moment.
There's the call.
Really?
Another 5, another undercard to Vornicu's 6s.
What a run out for Kassouf. With 7-deuce, flops a gut shot, turns a straight, and he knows he's good here on the river.
Give you a discount.
$1,280,000.
That is a discount. Beware the bargain, Valentin.
What do you have, Valentin? Tell me what you got. I'll tell you if I want you to call. If you haven't called by now, I think how much have you been? What do you have? Be honest. Tell me what you got. I'll tell you if I want you to call. Depending on what you have is whether I want you to call or not.
I think Will just lost his only fan at the table. Will chipping up, Valentin chipping down.
The silence at and around this table is deafening. Not one clap for Will Kassouf. Valentin Vornicu moving in the wrong direction.
Only big hands today, guys. Only big hands. I'm telling you. Gonna mix that. Watch. Next hand aces. It's going in. It's going in. Watch. One hand 7-deuce. Next hand 8. You can't make it up. The coconuts are coming.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high roller bowl 7 champion. Oh yeah!
Wheels are coming off. That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Las Vegas is definitely fabulous for Will Kassouf right now. Not so much for his table mates, though.
It is an odd, tense dynamic at this featured table.
Shorter stack Valentin Vornicu in the big blind with ace-9. Jared Bleznick raised with ace-10.
All in.
Vornicu says all in.
It's 4.1.
It's another close spot. I don't think I'm going to fold.
It would be for 80% of Bleznick's stack.
But if there's anyone I'm going to call, it's got to be you. At this table. I call.
Jared calls with a bigger ace to put Vornicu in the line of fire.
Good call, I guess. Yeah. Good call, Jared.
I got to call, right?
I don't know. It's really close. I mean, maybe with my stack. I don't know what yours is.
What a quick fall for Vornicu. Queens against Hallert's ace-10, then Kassouf's 7-deuce, now this.
I don't run that good. Not today.
If you don't ask, you don't get in this life.
Not today.
You don't ask for it? No? Your one time? This should be your one
10
time,
out
right?
there. Just put a black 10.
Each to their own.
Mark, I played it correctly.
You saved the one time. He's going to save the one time.
Fair enough. No matter what, I can't be upset.
I'll save the one time. What a lie.
Jack 4, Bleznick still
He's
good.
going to chop it. He's going to chop it. He doesn't need it.
Bleznick would be down to 4 big blinds if he were to lose this.
Chop pot is Vornicu's friend, but he's got work to do. 8 of hearts, more outs for Valentin with a flush draw.
I can't breathe.
No, there's 8. Too many outs.
On the river, guys.
There's too many outs.
On the river, they're asking for black. The river comes to 9 of clubs, and you get there. Valentin, the river comes to 9 of clubs.
No cider. No cider black.
Vornicu needs help now.
The river card is a 7 of spades, not gonna do it. Bleznick wins the pot, and Valentin Vornicu is gone.
He's got me.
Nice play with the man. I like it, yeah.
Bleznick celebrates the knockout. Vornicu takes his lead with a fine 23rd place showing. As the main event field shrinks even further. So the first-timer feels main event elimination for the first time. Meanwhile, on the other side of the leaderboard, Michael Ruan and Cliff Josephy with huge stacks at the top.
Math teacher Valentin Vornicu had such a great spirit for 7 long days. It was tough to see that spirit broken at the very end. But a wonderful run for the 33-year-old.
Yeah, a great payday for Valentin, and right now he's down with Karascott.
It was the first time that you'd played the main event, and you seem to really embrace and enjoy this experience. So can you describe what it's been like for you?
It's been great. It's been a dream. What can I say? A little sad right now. Just busted, but it's an incredible experience. So yeah, but I don't know what else can I say.
There is trouble brewing at the main event.
Pow, 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 pow.
For days, Will Kassouf has pushed the limits of the players.
Like a boss.
Shut up, Will.
I'll show you, don't worry about that. You'll have one out the door, and you'll be favourite to hit it. Nice, it's cute. Ruffler's gonna ruffle. Only way you can win the pot, right? Bluff at it.
This is ridiculous. Start the clock.
And the tournament staff.
This is not friendly.
Is tonight the night it all bubbles over?
The coconuts are coming.
Say exactly what you think he's going to say.
It's difficult to come up with new material when you've got the IQ of a parrot.
Be a sport, come on.
Where there's a will, there's a way. 2016 World Series of Poker main event final table is closer than ever here at the Rio. The original field of 6,737 entrants is down to just 22.
That was a quick one.
It was?
Lost his hand ever at the feature table. Thank God.
I like fast hands.
If we want to make poker popular again, we don't need to waste time at feature tables.
Poker's
If you want to make poker popular, I think people start talking a bit more. I think we should make a song and dance about it. Poker should be fun. Whether you play it recreationally or a pro, you should enjoy the game.
Poker should be fun, but at the feature table right now, it feels more like Platoon than Peter Pan.
One player who is definitely having fun, regardless of the table talk, is New Jersey pro and tournament chip leader, Michael Ruan.
I've been saying the whole tournament that I kind of expect there to be like I'm starting to lose chips or starting to run bad, and I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for it, and it just hasn't happened yet, which is really strange, but because it usually doesn't in a tournament this long, but it really hasn't.
Michael just took a big advantage in this hand, turning queens up against Australian pro James Obst, holding a two-way straight draw. Ruan has checked.
Earlier on day 7, they had an epic hand. Obst flopped a set, Ruan turned a straight flush, and Obst rivered a full house. Obst could have lost more chips on that hand than he did.
He did end up losing about 15 million.
Ruan ran out of clothes by day 6, so he had to go buy underwear, socks, and a t-shirt at Walmart. You know, if you get this deep in the main event, you really can't afford to go to Nordstrom Rack.
James bet $1,250,000.
Obst semi-bluffed at it on the flop, and he's trying again here on the turn.
James Obst trying to get some of his chips back from Michael Ruan. But Ruan's got the best of it again here. And that is a check raise to put Obst all in.
You know, next year we need a just kidding button. You get to take back one move. Tell me that wouldn't make the game more fun.
And James folds again. Wow. He just cannot beat Michael Ruan.
Hey, you play like that, no wonder your chips never go down.
And with that, Ruan extends his chip lead. He's over 42 million now.
We've shown hands where Cliff Josephy, Kakwan Lau, and Fernando Ponce all got lucky to stay alive in the main event. It's a reminder that you're never out, but you're also barely in.
As we approach the final 9, each hand becomes more critical, each decision magnified under the most powerful poker microscope. Norman, we've been doing this for a long time now, some a little longer than others. When you were giving a day 7 course, say at the Norman Chad School of Poker, what are some of the key points you write on the chalkboard?
Actually, here at the Norman Chad School of Poker, we specialize in what to do when you bust on day 1. But even though we don't have a lot of experience in the latter stages of tournaments, here are our simple rules for day 7. 1, desperate times don't call for desperate measures. Be patient. 2, don't slow play. 3, don't play slow. That's taught in our newly opened Will Kassouf wing. And 4, on breaks, drink an Orange Crush or 2.
And how much are you charging for this class?
Oh, it's one of my many gifts to the poker world.
The main event parting gift for running out of chips at the moment is over $269,000. Let's get back to our feature table.
What's the bet?
Will Kassouf with ace-queen on the button. Here's that young Canadian Mike Nowitzki raised under the gun to 525. Mike has king-jack of hearts.
Will never seems to know what the bet is. It's as if he just sat down mid-hand.
1.3.
Kassouf with a re-raise to $1,000,003. He's got the bigger stack.
I'm not making a move. Had a weekend, I'll flat call on the button. But if you fold and show, I'll show. You fold and show this one, I'll show. Not bluffing. Get my chips in good.
I get my chips in good. That's got to be a Donald Trump campaign slogan, no?
Nowitzki calls for $775 more to go up against Will Kassouf. All right, here's the flop. It is 5-4-8, 2 hearts, a flush draw for Nowitzki. Kassouf, though, has the best hand with ace high. It's check to Will.
Next year, no re-peaks. I will provide paper and pencil at every seat so you can write down your cards and keep it in front of you.
Will, as you have seen, has come under fire for his casual approach to speedy play.
1.7.
That is 1.7.
No bluffing. Best hand pre-flop, best hand on the flop. Get my chips in good.
Nowitzki with a flush draw and 2 overs. He could go a little nuts here like a Justin Bieber presale.
Nowitzki needs to do the right thing, separate the emotions from the logical response. And he calls.
Nowitzki opting not to check raise there, playing it safe.
For the record, Mike took twice as long to call as Will did to bet.
Oh, we have to note that.
Turn card 9 of diamonds misses both.
Well, he did take twice as long. Nobody's got a hand, and indeed the pace of play has slowed to a crawl.
Nowitzki with the action checks.
the rest of the table getting impatient and frustrated.
Kassouf checks back. River card is the ace of spades. Kassouf with the pair of aces as Nowitzki misses. Mike checks to Will.
Wow, thought you were going to wrap it on the river. Missed your flush draw?
Yes, he did.
Pound of flush draw? About 9-10 of hearts, right?
Well, if you put him on 9-10 of hearts, you're probably going to bet, preferably before Halloween.
Clock. Not been that long. I've got a decision, eh?
You keep talking to people that aren't answering back. No one's answering you in any hand. Stop talking to everybody.
I'm entitled to talk.
Not 2 minutes.
I'm entitled to talk. I'll do what I
You're
like.
entitled to everything. This table is all about you, William. Remember that. It's all about you.
It's all about me. Thank you. Thank you. The cameras are all. It's all. Hey,
Is the clock going?
Start the clock?
No, they said no.
Why?
Why?
It has to be 2 minutes or more.
Exactly.
It has not been 2 minutes.
I know you guys are being impatient. It hasn't been 2 minutes.
You have to be kidding, right?
No, hasn't been long enough. That's the rule.
This is a joke.
Clock.
No.
Now it's been 2 minutes.
It's not been 2 minutes.
Sufficient time. Clock has been requested. You have 50 seconds to act on your hand. If you haven't acted, you'll get a 10-second countdown. When the count reaches 0, your hand would be dead.
There's no bet to
They're
it.
not facing a decision. That's the thing. It's like we would give you time.
can't be
if you're
dead.
Just so
facing
you know,
a
after
decision.
2 minutes, I'm calling the clock every single time. He's on the clock after 2 minutes every hand. Okay, just so you know.
Let's let him make this huge decision right now. Let's give him the time he deserves.
The table putting Will Kassouf on a short leash, actually more of a choke collar.
$3 million. Wow. Got it through.
He had a $3 million chip hand on the river.
The clock helped me out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice thing is that I had plenty of time to think about my decision.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to check raise them all
Good
in. I
fold.
really did.
Oh, believe me, I wish I had a hand to do that.
Guys, because the clock has been called before, when it becomes his action, I have been watching the clock when his action starts. That was not 2 minutes. He gets 2 minutes to complete his action.
I thought serial offenders got different
If
amounts
it's
of time.
That's not the
serial,
point.
then we'll change it.
You've heard the rule. It's got to be a reasonable amount of time.
Situation,
call the
if you're
clock.
not facing a decision.
I've got a decision every hand. I'm getting these
We
big
all
hands.
do. We managed to make them.
Yeah, I take my time. There's a lot more that I think about than you guys do, obviously.
You've got this game tree going. You've got it. I know.
Yeah.
I've heard about these game trees.
I'll take my
In his
time.
head right now. You
I'll
didn't
give you
know
the
that?
speech.
He's doing the math in his head.
I'm doing a
Why
lot
don't you
more
look
than
at your
maths in
cards
my head.
now and make it a little bit easier on
I'm doing a
everybody?
lot more. All right, it has to be a reasonable amount of time. If it's been
Just
reasonable.
look at your cards in advance.
I'm looking. I can look at my
We
cards.
don't
when I
need the
want.
clown show.
There's no clown show.
You're a clown.
Thank you. I'll take that as a
Josephy
compliment.
getting testy.
Is this the circus? I feel like it's a circus. I'm here just to enjoy myself.
He should not call Will a
I'll
clown.
go earn a bit of money. Yeah, it's only money, right? Is this the 10K main event?
Keep stacking your chips.
Thank you. I will. I'm thinking about what to do actually. I can multitask.
This has got to
as
be
well.
going towards the serial offender thing.
I mean, he's not even trying. He's not even looking at his cards.
Clown.
I've looked. Thank you.
All right, let's go.
I've done nothing wrong.
Charlie, can you come to the
You've done nothing against the rules.
I've done nothing against rules.
When a
What are
guy
you talking
takes more than 15 seconds to look at his
To look
cards,
at
I
his
think.
cards even.
about? I can take my time. We're on a 2 o'clock.
You're
What?
telling us you're making a decision, right? You need time to make a decision. Well, then you can look at your cards at least fake like you're making a decision.
This
At
isn't
least
a 10K
appease the
document.
rest of us.
This ain't a 10K document.
I'm losing my mind. I can't take it.
Can't take it anymore.
That's why you don't play
This is what
tournaments,
happens.
right, Jared?
No, this is what
This is what
guy's
happens.
like a $50 nightly grinder, probably. This
Yeah,
is like the
exactly.
biggest day of his
I'm
life.
playing this like a $100 punt fest. You know?
Yeah.
Like $100
He did post a picture of a £500 cash game stack the other day.
Oh, did he? Yeah, so he's...
They're all trying to gang up against me.
No, my friends don't.
What are we doing against the rules?
I've done nothing against the rules, son.
I'll stake you in the 109 rebuy, I promise.
With the stakes rising, the tolerance for Will Kassouf is at an all-time low.
I've got a decision every hand. I'm getting these
We
big
all
hands.
do. We managed to make them.
Yeah, I take my time. There's a lot more that I think about than you guys do, obviously.
I don't like playing slow. I think it's just really bad for the game. It ruins it ruins everybody's enjoyment. We want to play poker. I don't want to sit there and watch you think forever. Play your cards. Let's go. Next hand. No, this is a horror show. We're not getting any hands in. He waits 15 seconds before he looks at his cards, then he looks at it, then he's got a big decision. He talks to everyone. No one's said a word back to him the whole time, so just stop talking.
Cliff Josephy pleading the table's case to Charlie Cerisi, the lead tournament supervisor here.
Charlie, he's basically every decision he's taking extreme amounts of time. For every simple decision,
He won't even look at his cards.
Yeah, before he's looking at his cards.
If you've seen the hands I'll be playing, you'll
It has
realize I've got
nothing to do with
decisions.
it. You don't look at your cards.
I do look at my cards. What are you talking about? Okay, he can stand here.
You're a clown.
Thank you.
You're a clown.
Thank you. I think I'm a class act for a clown as well. Thank you. You guys wanted action? You got
All right,
action.
guys. This is what we're going to do. We're going to monitor your hands.
They're all trying to gang up against me and trying to call clock it.
I wonder
Even
why.
this gentleman here said it wasn't really a matter of time.
Right, this is what we've been doing with every table, right? It's the 8 of us, and we find somebody to gang up.
I don't mind it. Bring
It's
it.
what we do.
That's what you do. That's good. Haters gonna hate.
This is including you. Okay?
All I'm saying is,
Guys,
We can't fix the situation if you keep talking.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to monitor the hands. I'm going to stick around this area, okay?
That's fine, yeah.
We're going to make sure that everything is going good. Please do me a favor, don't call anybody names. Let's move forward with what's going on.
He's called me a clown like 5 times now.
I'm asking you one last
Daddy,
time.
call me a
Stop
clown.
talking. It's not going to help you out. You continue.
berating
I'm
a
making
woman to tears
you either.
earlier.
You either.
Guys, let the boss talk.
Okay, we're going to continue to play poker. I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. I'm going to monitor the situation. If I feel like you're taking excessive time, I will reduce your clocks if clocks are being called, okay?
That's fine, yeah.
Guys, understand one thing. You're playing for $8 million. There is going to be a little bit of time from time to time that you're going to be thinking about things. If it is consistent, you're doing it consistently thinking about the hands that you're stalling on the clock or whatever, then we will go to a reduced
I
time
appreciate
clock.
that,
Okay?
Bob. That's not my intention. That's not
Guys,
what I'm
let's not call each other's names. Let's have a good time. Let's play poker. Enjoy
Thank you.
yourselves and
Exactly.
go
Sounds
for
good.
the $8
Thank
million.
you. I'll make
okay?
a job
Thank you.
Not to defend Will's actions, but just because the other players don't like something doesn't mean it's punishable.
What's the bet?
And the table does have a case. World Series of Poker Tournament Rule 48 says repeated etiquette violations, including but not limited to delay of game and excessive chatter, will result in penalties. Bleznick with a raise with ace-queen off as an icy calm has descended upon this featured table.
Bring it out. Take my time. I don't know what I want.
Loving your strategy.
Huh? Yeah, tilting the table. Watch. Not like a boss. Watch. I don't give a
You just stand
Don't who they are, how much money they won. They're all tilting. They're all steaming. And one of them is going to donk the whole stack off to me in a minute. And they're going to go giddy. Watch. Punish it. I don't give a play within rules. I'm doing nothing wrong. Yeah, just playing my game. I don't give a mate. Just playing my game, smashing it. Update that. Yeah, like a boss.
I was playing with him earlier, and he berated a woman to tears.
I read it. That's why I came in with an attitude. I heard about
right,
it.
exactly.
I read it and I heard
If it
about
wasn't for that, I don't even give a really, but it's just like, he got a penalty. He ended up getting a round penalty.
I understand.
Don't the penalties like add up over the entire series?
They said the reason he got the penalty was because they had been monitoring him for a while, and like this was a culmination of.
Will's analysis at the rail of the situation was dead on. He does get in your head, and it can affect your play. Poker pro Andy Frankenberger once told me, if there's a guy at your table with a lot of chips and you want a piece of him, he's called the pork chop. Will Kassouf is a double-cut pork chop at the moment.
550.
New hand, Will with a raise with Jack-7 of diamonds.
I'm in the booth line and I'm on tilt.
I'm afraid to say anything now with the tournament director so close. Novinsky's going to come along with ace-queen. Josephy with trays in the small blind.
Will's definitely gotten under Cliff's skin, but again, Josephy was out of line, calling Kassouf a clown several times.
He calls for 430 more. Bleznick needs something to happen. Ace-9.
How deep are you?
We'll start with about 10.
I call.
With the suited ace, Bleznick is the fourth in this hand. Many possibilities out there going to the flop.
The percentages are even on tilt lawn. Kassouf with technically the worst hand of the four, but he is actually the favorite pre-flop.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, like I can explain the theory of quantum entanglement.
Rainbow flop. Josephy's no good, and he checked. Bleznick with an open-ended straight draw checks. Now Kassouf with a gut shot and bottom pair has the action.
Yeah, we now turn the floor over to William Kassouf, Esquire.
1.325.
1.325 should turn the trick.
Fold, fold, fold.
Think about it, guys. Think about it, no rush.
You just want to slap him upside the head sometimes.
The table may not respect him as a person, but with nearly 25 million chips now, they have to respect Will Kassouf's stack. Always competing storylines on day 7 of the main event, but the Will Kassouf angle is winning.
Superstar.
Like
It's
a
all
boss.
over.
Like a boss.
He's been waiting all his life.
Watch, I'm punishing them. They're trying to gang out to me. I'm punishing them.
He came over my table some years ago.
I see this? Tenacious tiger. That's what I'm talking about.
Will Kassouf and fellow Brit Andrew Christoforou catching up. These two know each other well from the table.
When's your book going out? Seriously, I need to buy a copy now.
When I learn how to read, I'll do it.
You have to learn how to write as well.
Learn how to read this. See.
Yeah? Have you looked at both or just one?
Floor.
Shut up.
His influence in play.
Don't start. I'll have to knock you out. Put the big one in. If you made a mistake, can you take it back? Did you make a mistake?
Hurry up.
Don't look like you're tilting to the world, do you?
Shut up, Will.
Andy Christoforou, day 7 of the main event. Are you sure? How? How has this happened?
Mate, you can't even spell tournament. I don't know what you're still doing here. Is that steam coming off your head? Is that steam or is it the lights?
Next door, under some other bright lights, Christoforou has pocket 6 he opened raised, but in the small blind, Kakwan Lau 3-bet with ace-king off.
How much?
Oh, look, they're playing poker elsewhere without clenched fists.
And Christoforou, the first-timer we've been following, calls for 975 more.
The fish and chips man with nearly 20% of his stack in pre-flop with pocket 6s.
Now the flop is tray 8-5. The best hand is still pocket 6s.
Lau, the 30-year-old Hong Kong pro.
He checks.
That's a pretty good flop for Christoforou's pocket 6s.
Sure is.
Oh, Andrew, no repeats, please.
Lau started the hand with almost 22 million. Andrew's got to be careful with his stack.
2.5.
2.5 million of his 6.8 million left.
Yeah, with that bet, you see Christoforou now in the red zone under 20 big blinds. I once played 4 entire tournaments, back to back to back to back, start to finish in the red zone.
Very impressive. You've had a lot of practice, though.
Good for you. Ace-king got no piece of this flop.
But Kakwan Lau check raises to put Andrew all in.
Yeah, ace-king doesn't care he missed a flop. He just wants to put the other guy to the test.
One of the beauties of this game of No Limit Hold'em.
That's all of it, yeah?
You've played 7 days. Do you want to call off all your chips on the flop with a pair of 6s? If you're going to bet 2.5 million, I don't think you can fold for the rest. If you're going to take a girl out on 5 dates and buy the ring, you might as well propose.
How will Andrew answer this problem? Or is it an opportunity?
I think I'm ahead.
He is ahead, but this is for Andrew's main event life. It's so tough to put the rest of your chips in, even if your gut tells you you've got the best hand.
I do think I'm ahead. I think you'd hang me pre-flop. I don't think you'd raise me pre-flop if you had a proper hand.
As Christoforou talks it out, Lau knows with absolute certainty his ace-king is behind.
Do I want to gamble? You're gambling. I'll just be involved in it.
And with the second repeat next year, your hand will be dead. By the way, if this was Will Kassouf, a lynch mob would have formed 90 seconds ago.
You are correct, sir. Oh, clock has been called.
Oh, cool.
Andrew calls all in. Lau needs to catch to score the knockout.
Yeah, good call. Now he needs a good result. Andrew Christoforou at risk.
Pinning his hopes on the small pocket pair. Andrew Christoforou with 2 streets to travel. Turn card deuce of diamonds, a blank for Lau. He has almost 40% of his chips in the pot.
Lau needs an ace or a king to bust Cristoforo.
A 4 gives Andrew a better straight. The river card is the 4 of diamonds, and that will confirm Andrew's double up. What a double up it is, as he'll reap over 17 million chips.
The fish and chips monger with a sigh of relief, and the big stack bully bleeds some chips of his own.
It's a hell of a call, man. I mean, it was genuinely, I tanked it through and I thought I've got to make the call.
That was a great call.
I think he's going to hang me pre anyway if he's got a hand. I don't think he's going to be making raises on me. I've seen him play anyway. I played with him for a few hours, so it worked out anyway.
First-timer Andrew Cristoforo with a profitable hero call and a very workable stack.
Journey's not over yet.
Welcome back inside the Amazon room here at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Lon McCarron with Norman Chada and Kara Scott. On the 10-year anniversary of Jamie Gold winning the main event, we have a similar character dominating the featured table, Mr. Will Kassouf.
Well, Jamie dominated with his talk and his chip stack. Will's not dominating his opponents as much as he's terrorizing them. In poker, not every moment is a big decision. Some things are automatic, like crossing the street. Some roads have no cars, so you cross quickly. Some roads have a lot of cars, so you wait. But on the street, you might be the only person waiting. At the poker table, everyone waits. At the main event, the viewers and the announcers also wait. So let's cross the street.
All in.
Will is really getting the most out of his first ever World Series of Poker cash.
All in with steam? You steaming?
Moss
You tilting?
re-raised all in with a suited ace.
Wow. You steaming? You got a legit hand then, man.
Moss not in the mood for chit-chat.
We can't talk, heads up. No more action, you've gone all in.
Moss just under 20 big blinds.
You want me to call? Yes or no? Simple question.
One player per hand.
Sorry?
One player per hand.
One player per hand? How do you mean, sorry?
Well, I mean, you can discuss, you can talk to him about what you want him to do.
I can ask him, right? We're heads up, he's gone all in. Trying to just get information from our opponent. That's within the rules, right?
Very simple, one player per hand. I can bring Jack up here.
One player per hand means one person looking at a hand, is what
We're
I'm
not discussing anything about this.
This is ridiculous.
The guy's gone all in. I've got a genuine decision here. I actually think this is a race.
I don't get the one player per hand interpretation here. Will should seek counsel.
I've got a hand in, man. I'm not wasting time.
Actually, you always are wasting time.
But he does have a hand. And that is World Series top dog on the floor, Jack Effel, being brought up to speed, and looks like Jack wants to make a point with Will.
You don't say anything, man, huh? The gentleman's gone all in. I was just asking, do you want me to call? You got big hand or whatever? I'm just engaging conversation. I'm not disclosing contents of my hand or his hand or said anything about it. I'm just trying to get...
Technically, it's really none of your business what he wants you to do.
Well, he's gone all in, so there's no more action. So I'm not influencing any action.
I understand that, but here's the deal. The deal is the decision is on you,
I
and not on
that.
him. He's already made his decision.
That's exactly my point, Jack.
So if he doesn't want you to talk to him, then don't talk to him.
He didn't say he doesn't want me to talk to him.
Nobody wants to talk to you.
Excuse me, you're not in the hand.
You're right, but nobody wants to talk to you.
Here's what I don't care if you talk, but listen to
I'm
me.
allowed
Listen
to
to
talk,
me. Listen to me.
Okay.
But when it's disturbing.
Correct or incorrect?
100% correct. I think, can we get a poll?
I don't want him to have to say it.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't have to say it. I have a decision here. I have a hand. I think I have the best hand. I'm trying to engage in conversation to get a read from
him. But he doesn't want to talk to you.
Well, he doesn't have to talk to me, but I'm still allowed to ask a question, right?
This is part of the wasting time thing we've had a problem with.
Here's what's happening. You're making it for a very unprofessional, inappropriate time for these guys.
Right.
Okay? We've had this conversation a few days ago.
I understand that. I don't think I'm breaking the rules.
I've let you play. Right. However, when it gets to where it's disruptive, where it's disturbing these guys, where it's making it to where they can't make their decisions or where they feel like it's being unfair, then I got to step in and tell you to be quiet.
That's fine, but it's not affecting his decision. He's gone all in. I'm the one with the decision. So I'm trying to ask my opponent to get the information from my opponent. This is the whole point of the speech play.
And they're telling you to be quiet.
Well, it's up to this gentleman. I'm in the pot with this gentleman. There's no more action. We're heads up.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to pay attention to your actions.
I understand that.
You need to play your hand, and he doesn't want to be talked to.
He didn't say he doesn't want to be talked to, Jack. But am I within my right to ask him, even if he doesn't respond? I'm within the rules, right?
Okay, so until it becomes to where it's disruptive. And now I think you're borderline disruptive because right now I've been over here for over a minute.
I don't mean
and
to
you're
be
over here talking to me. You're holding the game up for all of these guys.
I'm trying to explain my situation.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you.
I don't mean to.
I want you to be respectful to everybody at the table. I want you to play your game. And I don't have a problem putting you back on penalty so these guys can play poker.
I wouldn't want that to happen.
So if you want to hold the game up,
not at
you
all.
want to be disrespectful to everybody else, we will go over here to the side after this hand.
No, that's fine. What's your name, please?
Okay.
Because even he was saying, everyone can stop calling me names, but these guys have all been disrespectful to me,
Just
calling
me.
me a clown.
I'm the only one that's called you a clown. So Cliff, I'm going to ask you this. We're supervising him.
Done.
If anybody has any problems, I will come in and I will handle
I've not
this with
insulted
him.
anyone, TJ. Is that correct? They've all insulted me. They've had words against me. Well, more than half the table.
Just me. Here's
Can we have this
insulted one
conversation in the
person.
break?
Okay.
Like, this is taking 5 minutes of the
I'm
clock.
going to say one last thing.
Okay, Jack.
I want you to play this hand.
That's fine.
If I hear anything else, we're going on penalty after this hand.
That's
okay?
fine. That's fine.
All right.
Okay. Try and play within the rules. I don't mean to be disruptive. But
Thank you, Jack.
How much is the bet?
He has been within the rules, and he has been a jerk.
Oh, come on. Gotta be kidding me. Take it for 5 minutes now. He wants to know how much it is.
He was told to stop talking, but he wasn't told to stop taking his time. And standing here is no accident. He knows how to thumb his nose at the table.
4,077 total.
This is a calculated, systematical deceleration of normal table play, and it infuriates everyone else here.
Wow.
Clock.
Wow. It's not been that long.
Clock.
Since
9 minutes.
No, since the rule.
It took you 10 minutes to ask for his chips.
I have a genuine decision. I'll even show the hand.
Before he spoke to Mr. Ethel, he took 5 minutes.
He didn't
and
even
now
ask for a count before he started talking.
Guys, stop talking.
Please.
No offense.
Gone. So I think it's a reasonable amount of time for sure, and you are on a 50-second clock and then a
Fine.
10-second countdown.
That's
Period.
fine, Jack. That's fine. I've got a decision. I'll even show the hand. So. I honestly think we're flipping here. I'm sure I got the best hand. I'm sure I got the best hand. Do I want to gamble with you? Do I want to gamble?
A call here is for only 1/6 of Will's remaining stack. He's got 100 big blinds left.
Clock is ticking.
No, he's got like threes. He's got threes.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, I'll fold. You want to show? I'll show. I had a pair. I think we're flipping. You've got ace, queen, ace, jack, right? Yeah, I'll fold. We're flipping. I had the best hand. I'll even show. I wasn't wasting time. I know you're shoving with ace high, but I don't need to gamble. I'm shoving with ace, queen, ace, jack all day long.
Threes.
But I don't need to gamble.
You heard me say that?
I had a decision there. Okay.
You heard me say threes?
Can I play this hand and after I finish the hand? Okay, Jack.
He plays like $10 tournaments, and he's playing for like 4%.
What's your name?
Matt,
I'm really sorry you had to go through that.
That's all right. It doesn't bother me, don't worry.
I felt like I had to talk for you. You know, I don't want you to have to talk during the hand.
Yeah,
so,
it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're on the same team here.
It's completely wrong. Now, talk all you want, but when they have a decision to make, you need to give these guys an opportunity to be able to act on their hand. That's all I'm asking you to do.
I've never called clock on anyone. They can take as long as they want.
Just be respectful.
I'm
Have
being
fun and be
respectful, Jack.
respectful.
I haven't
That's all.
insulted one person. You can ask TJ. 3 of these people have insulted me a
Like
number
it-
of times.
his hand is fine. His hand is fine.
A number of times. I haven't insulted one person. Like I said, when we had the ruling last time, if I can finish, please. I'm not that kind of guy to disrespect anyone. I don't come here to berate anyone. There's no malice, no malicious intent in what I say or do. I'm just coming to enjoy myself. Some people let it get under their skin. They go on tilt, and this is what's happening. And now they're trying to gang up on me, calling me a clown, and the rest of it. He's calling a clock when it's only been 1 minute.
Your action is here. So
That's my point.
Let's go back. Let's play.
Indeed. I
Give
want to
these
play
guys
within the
some
rules, Jack.
respect.
Of course I do. Yeah. But I'd appreciate the same in return.
We thought we'd seen it all at the main event.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high roller bowl 7 champion.
Oh yeah!
Wheels are coming off. That's the craziest hand I've ever seen.
What was that fight? Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
If you've seen the hands I'll be playing,
It has nothing to do with it. You don't look at your cards.
I do look at my cards.
Yeah. You're a clown.
Thank you.
You're a clown.
Thank you. I think I'm a class act for a clown as well. They're all trying to gang up against me and trying to call clock.
It's what we do.
It's what you do. That's good. Haters gonna hate.
22 players still left in the main event. The pace has slowed to a crawl here on day 7. They'll play down to 9 and come back for the live final table.
Again, Cliff should not have called Will a clown. On the other hand, truth is the best defense, so Josephy might be acquitted in a court of law.
Playing about 4-5.
There has developed a gang mentality against Will at this featured table. Usually not a healthy attitude for anyone.
We played half this tournament.
Kenny Hallaert on the button. 7-6 off and a raise to 575. A button steal. Kassouf in the small blind. King Jack offsuit.
Should have brought a second shirt.
Yeah, you just still sweat?
Yeah, I never sweat. I guess I'm nervous.
By the way, Kassouf with a top 10 stack on day 7. He was down to 9 big blinds on day 3, not too long before we got to the money.
Just a call from Kassouf. Gordon Veo in the big blind with a short stack at this table. Folds 9 tray. So we are heads up.
Well, look at him. Will had already called with big chips. Now he's making change to call with smaller chips. It's death and aggravation by 1,000 cuts.
No, we played the whole day 2 together.
And he uses his small chips to call, so it takes
Adds
longer.
up?
It's just, it all adds up. It's the whole process. Every bit of it.
10 Jack 6, 2 clubs, top pair for Kassouf, bottom pair for Kenny Hallaert.
I've got to say Kassouf's strategy is 1 part brilliant and 1 part boorish. Look how exasperated a veteran player like Cliff Josephy is. Will's dealing out maximum distress to everyone.
Top pair checks to bottom pair. Bottom pair reaching for chips. Kenny commits 775. You just know all of these guys want large chunks of Kassouf's chips.
And there's the patented repeat.
Yeah, not a bad flop, man. How much? 775?
He never knows exactly what the bet is. It's part of a calculated, cringe-inducing process. Hallaert, a tournament director in Belgium. By this point, it's possible he would ban Kassouf from playing tournaments in Belgium.
Stand and see bet, right? No matter what comes. Okay.
There's a call from Will. Turn card deuce of hearts. Kassouf still ahead. And he checks again.
Hallaert did c-bet with something on the flop, but I doubt he liked Kassouf's call.
No, slow down.
Can he check back? River card. Another deuce, a third club.
Sit down, you clown. Oh, sorry.
No. Rein it in there.
If Kassouf doesn't believe Hallaert hit a flush, he might value bet this river.
Every second he takes is now exaggerated in the minds of his table mates.
$1.9.
About 60% of the pot.
Hallaert with an inferior 2-pair here. And man, it's a re-peaking epidemic.
Right up there with wanting to take Will's chips is not wanting to give him theirs.
Yeah, I don't think Hallaert can call here, but he might put Kassouf on a busted straight draw, or he might think Kassouf is just repping a flush. This is the kind of call Will envisioned in terms of getting the table so flustered and frustrated.
And he gets that call.
Will tables his hand with vigor.
And again, all of Will's fans are cheering as he enjoys 27.5 million chips now. Hallaert takes the hit to his stack and psyche. Are we having fun yet?
I don't think Kenny calls everyone there. He might be feeling the Will Kassouf effect.
Like a boss. Booyah!
Like a boss with a group of employees that don't like him very much.
You guys wanted action? You got action. This will be embarrassing. You don't put me on this hand, I tell you. I can't say what I've got. 9 high like a boss. Big heart of a lion. Taunting our player. They don't know the meaning at all. 9 high like a boss. Welcome to the World Series of Poker.
It may not seem like it, but there are 3 tables in action right now as we approach the final 18. Leading the way is 28-year-old Jersey pro Michael Ruan.
He had a huge day 6, and he is backing it up with a very big day 7.
At the other outer table, 2 former chip leaders in action. On the left, Wojciech Ruzicka, and in the Blue Jays cap, Griffin Benger. Ruzicka made a button raise with 10-6 of clubs. Benger has king 10 in the small blind. And he is going to 3-bet to 1.8 million. Now, Andrew Christoforou.
Well, we had a classic button raise, then the small blind re-raises because he doesn't believe, and he has a decent hand. But now they're both in trouble because the big blind has a big hand.
Ace king off for the first timer.
4.5.
Wow, a 4-bet to 4.5 million. Ruzicka folds.
Yeah, that raise should clear out all the shoe clerks and crumb bums. No offense to Ruzicka, who would be the shoe clerk here, and no offense to Benger, who would be the crumb bum here.
Czech Republic gone, Canada gone. England will take it, and look at the fish and chips man Norman with nearly 20 million.
And it's always nice to pick up 3 million chips at this point of the main event without even having to see a flop.
Andrew in 7th place right now. Well done, sir. At the other featured table, the amateur from Spain, Fernando Pons, opened for 700,000 with King Queen of Hearts, but Jeff Hakim played back, re-raising to 1.5 million with Ace 10 suited.
Hakim, 29-year-old Lebanese pro. Pons, the 37-year-old Spaniard who has been walking between the raindrops here at the main event.
He has indeed. He'll try again. He calls for 800,000 more. Pons sits with about 17 million. And there is ace with the 8. Hakim scores trips, but 2 hearts gives Pons a chance.
I would mention it's an action flop, but I don't want to be disciplined by the action flop police.
Be careful there. Pons is checked.
Hakim, good friends with Kenny Hallaert, trying to decide how to proceed with his monster.
Both checked for different reasons. 5 of diamonds.
It was an action flop, Al. How come there was no action?
Right.
Pons would surely like a free look at the river.
But Pons has chips in hand. Some of the mini frisbees going to work. That's a bet of 1.3 million.
So I was wrong. What of it? Hakim surely will announce himself now with a raise.
Hakim with the trip aces. And Hakim, wow, just a call.
So I was wrong again. What of it?
River card now. And bang! Pons rivers to nut flush.
Poker's a funny game, Lon. Frankly, I'm starting to prefer crazy 8s.
Poor Jeff Hakim flops trip aces. And now Hakim has to be careful. Pons just put him all in.
What does Jeff Hakim do here? I have no idea. And if he calls, he's gone.
A very talented player, Hakim, has worked so hard to get to this point.
Pons should market a new cologne, Scent of River. You walk around all day smelling like a winning river card.
A call. 2 hearts spells the end to Jeff Hakim.
That's got to feel like a bolt of lightning hitting Hakim.
Fernando Pons got there in a big way. He's in 4th place.
How does he do it?
One of the tougher pros is no more. Jeff Hakim out in 22nd with a lot to think about. No doubt the Ruan family will have some fun with that picture.
Reminds me of my first honeymoon.
Blinds are at 150, 300,000 with a 50K ante. Josephy and Kassouf battling for the chip lead at this table, among other things. Action on Will Kassouf. Ace, Queen of Diamonds.
Opening the action pre-flop should not take more than 15 seconds. I picked out a wedding ring for my second wife in under 15 seconds.
How'd that work out for you?
I should have kept the receipt.
Kassouf does seem to get a lot of hands to think about.
Yeah, but then when it's time for him to bet, and he is betting, I mean, right here, he's assembling a bet like he's putting together a Lego project.
You saw Hallaert, who had folded, still steaming, watching Will do his thing. There is a raise, finally, to $750,000.
Maybe if we all took as long, maybe he would realize.
Bleznick in the big blind, king, queen.
Yeah, Jared in the big blind with a big target in front of him.
Bleznick with a below-average stack of $10.7 million. He does call, but he'll be dominated by Kassouf's ace-queen. Who are the fans rooting for in this matchup? Here's the flop, heads up. All clubs, all small cards. Bleznick with a flush draw. Kassouf holds 2 red cards. It's check to Will.
I'm just thinking about what Will told the table during one of the earlier kerfuffles on day 7. Quote, "There's a lot more that I think about than you guys do, obviously," end quote. He's got a lot of chutzpah.
Check, check. 10 of spades, ace-queen is still best for Kassouf.
A lot of re-peeking, but not a lot of betting.
Bleznick trying to get a free card and hit his flush. He checks.
This is Kassouf's 5th main event. He plays 8-ball twice a week. I am sure he is a boss at the billiards hall.
Kassouf checks back. All right. River card is a queen, and no flush comes home, but that does pair both. Kassouf with top kicker. Bleznick bets $500,000 with kicker problems.
Bleznick took 7 seconds to bet that river. I don't think Kassouf will be acting in 7 seconds.
He does have something to think about. There's a raise to $1.5 million.
That is a terrific raise. Kudos to Will Kassouf. Trust me, Bleznick does not want to give another $1 million to Kassouf here, but he might not want to give up his hand either.
Bleznick counting out the $1 million. And calls. And Will Kassouf takes another one from the team.
That's good.
He's thinking like a boss. He's just not saying it this time. And Bleznick is Kassoufed.
And Will's game plan is bearing fruit.
Like a boss. Like a boss. Watch.
Hard to argue that was boss-like. Kassouf jumps into second place with that pot, trailing only Michael Ruan, Josephy in third, Pons in fourth.
3 first-timers in the top 10. Pons, Cristoforo, and Mike Shin. Not bad at all.
What's next for Will?
Well, I assume more of the same. Aggravate, antagonize, accumulate. It's been working for him so far.
He just turned doubters into believers.
We've seen this on TV before.
He's the world champ.
We're all experiencing it for the first time.
I'm losing my mind.
Guess I'm nervous.
You guys wanted action? Got action.
At the end of the night, when the last pot is pushed, we'll have the November 9.
Do I want to gamble with you?
He's doing the math in his head.
I've got a decision every hand. We all do.
Oh yeah! The eliminated become footnotes.
Journey's not over yet.
Those who advance can write history.
Cameras are rolling. You'll see that one on TV.
The stakes have never been higher.
Back to the Rio for the 2016 World Series of Poker main event. Nearly 7,000 players showed up on day 1, and now late on day 7, just 21 remain. Michael Ruan, the 28-year-old pro from New Jersey, has the chip lead and the action with ace-4 of diamonds. It's been folded to him on the button.
What is that face?
I'm so blind that I kept this.
Okay, fair enough.
That could be the I'm going to be a big stack bully face.
And with big stack power, he raises enough to put both blinds all in. James Opes folds. Qui win with jacks. Makes the call. He's now at risk.
Well, Rowan had the right idea. With 23 big blinds left, Qui Win folds most hands in that spot. Pocket jacks, not one of them.
So Rowan has Qui Win at risk, the local pro, and the most expensive buy-in of a poker tournament he's ever played. Here we go with the flop. 10-7-9, no diamonds. Wins jack still good, plus he added a gut shot.
39-year-old Las Vegas gambler in great shape here to double up through Rowan.
Turn card now. And an ace for Rowan! A suddenly desperate Qui Win has the tables flipped on him by the chip leader.
Pocket jacks, man. They're a death certificate. Qui Win takes his cold cut sub to go. He would need an 8 or a jack to sit back down.
Here's somebody in the crowd calling for a snowman. That's an 8, and that's an 8! A lucky 8 keeps Qui Win in the tournament.
That is one feel-good gut shot straight to hit on day 7 of the main event.
He doubles to 15 million. That's 50 big blinds, good for 10th position.
Those high fives need some work.
Well, Rowan can see that, and despite that hand, he is still the day's 7 chip leader here at the main event. Just behind Michael on the leaderboard is the big stack at the feature table. There's 34-year-old lawyer Will Kassouf. He has made quite an impact on this year's main event.
Indeed, it feels like Will versus the world, with the rest of the table rooting against the speech play impresario. He's still talking, and everyone else is tired of listening.
A wide range of stacks from 10th down to 18th. Qui Win now hovering near an average stack, but Kakwan Lau is in trouble.
Hey, who's not in trouble? Or to paraphrase Dan Patrick, we're all day to day.
27-year-old pro Gordon Vail, the shortest stack at this table.
Never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around and desert you.
50-year-old father of 3 Cliff Josephy is in great position.
Of course he's in great position. He's Cliff Josephy. Great life, great tan, great backyard, great position.
Cliff and Gordon have had their issues with Will Kassouf, and so has tournament director Jack Ethel. Earlier, Will and Jack had a sit-down to discuss Kassouf's antics.
I understand your strategy. I understand who you are as a person. I understand you like to talk. I get all that, and I'm cool with all that, and you're not breaking any rules. The only rule that you're borderline breaking at this particular point in time is the disruption to the other players while they're trying to think and act.
This will be embarrassing. You don't put me on this hand, I tell you. I can't say what I've got, but you do not put me on this hand. I'm not talking about my hand.
How come his hand is still live when he...
I'm just saying you don't put me on this hand. That's all I said.
There's
no disrespect to anyone. I don't berate anyone. I don't insult anyone. There's no malice whatsoever in what I say or do. It's jovial banter. It's seeking information.
You've gotten better. You were a little bad.
Seeking information from my
opponents. You were a little
opponents.
bad a few days ago. You've gotten better.
But there was no malice involved. I said I'll show. I'll keep it friendly. 9 high like a boss. Big heart of a lion.
Man, you talk when you have a hand. You talk when they have a hand.
That's good to talk. That's what I do for my profit. I'm a lawyer, so the more I talk, the more I get paid. So this is it.
All you do is talk.
I'm entitled to talk. I do what I like. You got it? I think I have it. Do you want me to go? Yes or no? Think about it, guys. Think about it. No rush. Oh, there it is.
You shouldn't just keep on hammering.
Well, if my tactics working, I'm going to use my tactics to my advantage. This is part of the game. 9 high like a boss. Booyah! Put that on the vlog. 9 high like a boss. The World Series of Poker main event, we're on a 2-hour clock. And people want to call a clock on me within 1 minute, 30 seconds. Clock. Not been that long. I've got a decision, eh?
It's been 9 minutes.
Hasn't been long enough. You've heard, that's the ruling.
This is a joke.
I take my time. There's a lot more that I think about than you guys do, obviously.
If you can't recognize where that line is, where they tell you to stop, you know, or...
I'm visualizing that line right now after this conversation. I can see the line.
All right.
Yeah, it's about there. I can see the line.
Okay.
I can see the line.
Just look at your cards in advance.
I can look at my cards
We
when I
don't need
want.
the clown show.
I think I'm a class act for a clown as well. They're all trying to gang up against me and trying to call clock.
It's what we do.
It's what you do? That's good. Haters gonna hate.
This table is all about you, William. Remember that.
It's all about me. Thank you. Thank you. The cameras are all. It's all. Hey, folks back home. Thank you. I appreciate your point, but you appreciate my point, right?
I appreciate your point.
So we agree on those.
We agree on that.
Thank you, Jack.
All right.
Appreciate
Now go
it.
get 'em.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
And here's example A. Will's sitting here with 9 deuce, and he treats it like it's quantum physics. Raise or fold. From Jack Effel's perspective, if everyone did what Will does, you couldn't run a poker tournament. So you can't let one person do it to the detriment of others in terms of the table talk and, more importantly, the time.
You can see without uttering a single syllable, Will has climbed under the skin of Josephy once again. There's a raise to 750 from Kassouf with 9 deuce of clubs.
Is throwing a piece of gum on the street horrible? No. But if everyone did it every day, we'd all be stuck to the street.
And the big blind, a New York day trader with tournament poker earnings of almost $900,000, Jared Bleznick with 10-8.
And this issue is about the common good, which sometimes can be hard for poker players to consider.
And Bleznick makes the call.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bleznick called with any 2 cards there, considering the current Kassouf dynamic.
And Will hits bottom pair, good for an almost 2.5 to 1 advantage. Bleznick checks. Will reaching for some of the red chips. The mini frisbees worth $500,000 each. That's just over $1 million. Bleznick folds. Will once again reaps the reward.
Kassouf's look and body language right now scare the bejeebers out of me. Yikes.
No one seems to be able to agree on anything these days, but one thing I think we can agree on is that Will Kassouf is the most polarizing player of the 21 remaining. The loquacious lawyer has a full house of fans and detractors. Norman, we've watched him for 12 episodes now. Where do you come out on Will?
Well, as someone who also makes a living saying the same things over and over again, my first instinct is to come to the defense of Will Kassouf. If it works, stick with it. And indeed, I am sometimes entertained by him and sometimes exasperated by him. One of Will's favorite phrases is "like a boss." But from both a poker standpoint and a people standpoint, this is not a boss I want to be around. Too disruptive, too disrespectful, too distasteful, and too damn slow. Yet give him his due. Whether Will makes the November 9 or not, he's made his mark on the 2016 main event like a boss.
And the boss man is all business right now, but I imagine his sharp tongue and wit have not lost their edge. One of Will's few friends in this tournament is a fellow Brit. First-timer Andrew Cristoforo, the fish and chips restaurateur, almost didn't play this year's main event.
I didn't decide to come until Sunday morning. Went to the bank, took the money out, went and changed it into dollars, booked a flight for the first flight out of London, which was on the Monday about 10 or 12 o'clock. Got here on level 3 on Monday, last day, and ain't stopped since. So literally it was like a split decision. Trust me, I'm all right now. Just doubled up for my life. Massive, biggest call of my life. Biggest call of my life. I worked it out, got it right, and then it helped me as well.
Andrew back in action, opened under the gun with ace-king. He was called by John Sin with 9-8 of diamonds before Wojciech Ruzicka in the small blind with aces, re-raised to $2.1 million.
Okay.
Cristoforo just referenced how he doubled up. That was against the ace-king of Kakwan Lao. Here, Andrew has the ace-king, and ace-king is in a horrific spot.
There's John Sin in the gray hoodie, former IT consultant, now living in L.A.
$5.5.
And a 4-bet from Andrew to $5.5 million.
Ouch. I think Cristoforo is committed now.
That was a snap all-in, of course, from Wojciech.
Let's make the call.
And there's the call. Ruzicka's the one at risk, but he's the one with aces.
You got it. Well done. Well done, man.
Cristoforo says well done, but Ruzicka will not be seated before midnight at any Andrew's Fish and Chips restaurants ever.
Ruzicka from the Czech Republic, a prolific online poker player.
6% with ace-king. It's good everywhere else, but here it's like making $100K a year and living on the Upper East Side.
The flop is 6-4-5. Andrew's down to hitting king, or some of his long shot chop-outs.
Ruzicka sitting pretty.
Andrew still kicking himself for his zealousness, and 8 puts a straight draw on the board.
Well, Ruzicka has survived his all-in. Cristoforo can chop the pot with a river 7.
Very easy.
Actually, this one looks pretty easy.
The river card, another 4. Ruzicka has his double up, and Cristoforo now with a lot of fish to fry to make this final table.
I like a good piece of cod or tilapia fried.
Andrew has a real draw, but he told me he plays poker just for the halibut. Ruzicka now with 73 big blinds. Cristoforo loses half of his stack. End of the rainbow, end of the road, end of the journey, whatever you want to call it. We are close to the November 9. 21 players left. Current payout, nearly 270 grand. Almost good enough to live on the Upper East Side. Back to our main featured table where Will Kassouf continues to push the patience envelope after Jared Bleznick raised with pocket aces.
Kassouf has that mean mug thing going now, like Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver.
It's an uncomfortable silence. Kassouf makes the call around to Matt Moss in the big blind, 8-7 of clubs.
24-year-old British pro, youngest player left in the field.
Seeking a way to collect some chips. He calls for 450 more, so the aces get 2 callers.
He's scaring me, man.
9-4-6 rainbow. Moss is open-ended. Bleznick still best, but not a slam dunk.
Moss not going anywhere on that flop.
All in.
And he says all in, just over 5 million.
Last 16 big blinds from Matt Moss. And I don't think Bleznick is going anywhere on this flop either.
Jared has barely enough to cover Moss. He makes the call, so Moss is officially at risk.
Wow. Really?
Wow, really? Really? This is an insta-fold.
How much is the all-in?
5 million, basically.
5025.
5 million. 125.
Is this more or less? Oh, this is a call, sorry. Is that the 5 million?
Yeah, this is bad theater. This is why I give him no quarter.
Sure, what took so long, William?
No, he's gonna have a draw. Oh, nothing. That's top pair. Top pair. I just didn't like the flat golf. No.
This is effectively for each player's main event life.
I know 10 or 5. No 10 or 5.
All right, turn card. Moss looking for some help. And it's an 8, and he's got more outs now.
Yeah, what a life. Do you want to ask him? Run it once or twice.
No 5, 7, 8, 10.
Bleznick speaks the truth. 5, 7, 8, or 10 for Matt Moss, or he is wamboozled.
The river card, a queen. Bleznick and his aces hang on. Matt Moss must say goodbye.
He was a kid with a dream.
Take care.
21st place for Matt Moss in his first ever main event. Bleznick with a nice boost to his hopes.
Jared Bleznick back in business.
Nice hand, Jared.
Oh, we're pals now? I don't think so.
Jared with 13.1 million. Matt Moss gets to chat with Kara Scott.
Matt, can you talk to us about your experiences here in the main event, coming all the way through to day 7?
Yeah, I mean, I had a fun run. It's been a really enjoyable event. Lots of play in it, and I mean, I was very lucky to be here, so I'm happy with it.
You had a really interesting table, sitting with William on the table. I know there was a little bit of controversy about his chit-chat. Can you give us your opinion of what was going on there?
I mean, he's just a pure time waster. Like, the chat is fine. Like, that's a part of his game, and he's actually very good at it, and I can respect that. But there's no need to spend 2 minutes on a pre-flop like open or fold. It's just pointless and wastes everyone's time. So it's obviously I don't like that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Appreciate that.
It's just a pure time waster. Well put, Mr. Moss.
He's at it again. Will first to act with Jack 9 suited at this 6-handed table now.
I think there should be a time bank concept. You get so much time per level, you run out of it, you can't play.
Kassouf usually winds up raising after those delays, and that's what he does. Makes it 750. Around to the button, Cliff Josephy. King, queen, also of clubs.
Cliff Josephy with Will Kassouf clearly in his sights.
And almost 32 million to play with for Josephy. He makes the call. Will with over 26 million. Bleznick folds a small blind. Hallaert his big. And so they meet again.
The lawyer and the stockbroker meet at the poker table.
9-5 Jack, no clubs, but top 2 for Kassouf.
It's been a while since I've said anything positive about Will, so let me take this opportunity to do that. He used to have a dog.
Kassouf has the action with Jacks up. And you know he has Josephy in his sights.
Bet in progress.
$1,150,000, half the pot. Josephy with a gut shot.
There's a lot more going on here than just their hands, their history of animus at this table. Kassouf knows he has bothered Josephy. Cliff trying to not let that affect his play, but it almost certainly has to.
After all, Cliff is almost human, Norman. Cliff definitely thinking implied odds here, makes the call.
I think Josephy would give $100,000 in real money right now for a 10 on the turn.
The turn is another 9, and so Kassouf turns 9s full. Wow.
Well, Josephy better not get a 10 on the river if he sticks around to the river.
Josephy now drawing dead to a court order outlawing full houses in poker. Will with $2,150,000. Yeah, he's smart if nothing else, and he does fold.
Yeah, it takes a lot of discipline to fold to someone you so desperately want to beat. Good decision there from Josephy against Will.
The Brit's big stack just got bigger, leaving Cliff to bite his lip in frustration. Will Kassouf closing in on second place once again. We're guessing the Kassouf-Josephy rivalry isn't over yet.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high rollerball 7 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. We started day 7 with 27 players. 7 have left us so far, but we might have another one joining the departed. 30-year-old poker pro Kak-Wan Lau racing for his tournament life with pocket deuces against the Czech Republic's Wojciech Ruzicka with ace-10 of clubs.
Lau shoved with just 12 big blinds left.
And here is the flop. 10 in the window and another one. Ruzicka with trip 10s.
Ruzicka likes it.
And Norman, a deuce on the turn would change something here.
Just call the card stretch.
The turn card, a king, does not improve Lau's standing.
Ruzicka poised for the knockout. Lau down to his last chance. He's got to have a deuce.
The river card, a 9, and that brings the main event to a close for Kak-Wan Lau.
Second consecutive main event cash for Kak-Wan Lau.
$47,000 last year. This year, almost $270,000. Ruzicka put a big hurt on Christophoru earlier, now takes out Lau.
Things change in a hurry. Ruzicka with a below-average stack not too long ago, now 6th in chips.
At another table still sits Las Vegas pro Qui Nguyen, who, as you recall, rivered a straight recently against Michael Ruan to stay alive in this main event. We've gotten to know Qui at this year's main event for 2 reasons, his love of Baccarat and that hat.
As it turns out, the hat is Rocket Raccoon, a character from Guardians of the Galaxy. First of all, I can't believe that's a raccoon. Second of all, I can't believe that movie made nearly $800 million. Third of all, I can't believe he's still wearing that hat. I will gladly buy him a new hat if he makes the November 9. I feel that strongly about it.
With top pair, Michael Ruan turned a heart flush draw.
I'm also offering Michael Ruan a haircut if he makes the November 9. I hope he didn't see Edward Scissorhands.
Nguyen checked his pair of jacks. Ruan, as I mentioned, his stock went up with that flush draw. He's going to bet $1,150,000 from his 37 million chip stack.
Nguyen came to the U.S. in 2001 at age 24, nicknamed Tommy Gun by his fellow poker players because he plays aggressively.
He's lived in Alaska, Florida, California, now Las Vegas, and he makes the call from his 13 million chip stack.
Michael Ruan now considering his Hail Mary River options.
8 of spades. Ruan left holding king high, but there are 4 to a straight out there. Nguyen checks again.
Does the big stack want to continue to try and push around a middle stack?
Michael Ruan has the chips to do whatever he wants.
I wish he used 2 hands to put together his bets. Now, if he had 6 fingers on his right hand, like the 6-fingered man in The Princess Bride, that would be a whole different story.
That's over half the pot, almost 60% of the pot.
Raccoons like garbage, and top pair on that board feels like garbage.
Qui Nguyen made his decision, it looks like.
What? $2,450,000.
Throws in the call.
Good call. You don't want to gamble with a gambler. I learned that when I was rooming with Charlie Sheen.
Qui Nguyen quite excited to win that pot. His stack now worth 61 big blinds. Good for 9th place. Michael Ruan giving up more chips to win, yet remains the main event chip leader.
Well, he's not going to be chip leader for long if his king-high bluffs keep getting called.
Qui Nguyen happily stacking his winnings. It has been a good night for Qui Nguyen, currently sitting in 9th place with a seat at the virtual final table. The World Series of Poker awarded 68 bracelets this summer, but there's the one everyone wants. One player still trying to win that bracelet is one of our first-timers, 25-year-old Canadian Mike Nowinski. Kara Scott has more.
Nowinski says he is so happy to have his dad and sister here to support him. They flew in today and arrived just an hour before play started. He says they really understand the potentially life-changing effect of making this final table, so they're mostly just trying to stay out of his way so that he can focus. Even on the breaks, he's just taking the time to clear his head and not be distracted. But he says knowing that they're here means everything to him.
Mike on the small blind with Jack 10. It has been folded to him. Cliff Josephy sits in the big blind.
Nowinski plays as stupid head online, so you know he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's just a great addition to any poker game.
He just calls.
Josephy, oldest player remaining at age 50.
Queen 8, and there is a raise to 900,000.
That's a pay jump raise.
The poor small blind. If they raise, they're stealing with trash. If they just call, it cries out weak. What's Jack 10 worth, Mike? A call.
Doesn't care about the pay jump.
Nowinski sitting on 30 big blinds.
Pay bubble with 19 left.
No comment.
That pay bubble worth 70 grand almost. A pair of jacks for Nowinski. Josephy missed. Nowinski checks. The pre-flop aggressor. Bets 900,000 again.
I don't know if Cliff is representing the ace or representing that he doesn't care about the pay jump. Josephy with squadouche, Nowinski with middle pair.
The first timer calls with the best hand.
Remember, Cliff says he's got gray hair so he doesn't bluff. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Nowinski's jacks still lead the way after the 4 on the turn. And he checks again.
And I can see Cliff's hair getting grayer as he considers another stab at this pot.
Seems like Mike doesn't want to play a big pot here. You've mentioned Cliff doesn't like to play big pots, but if he wants to take this pot down, he's got to do something. Chips in hand, 2.4 million.
Well, we've talked about how poker isn't necessarily about the cards, and at this stage, it's very true. Intense pressure can be enough to win hands. Nowinski has to put in nearly 30% of his stack to call, and then he might face a big river bet.
His sister and dad living through his every action. And he does call.
Forget about Cliff's hair graying. He might go bald from the stress of bluffing.
River card now is a queen, and Josephy pulls a queen out of the river to save the day.
That isn't fair. Nowinski did everything right. That river's so wrong.
Mike checks a third time.
Jack.
Oh, you scum! You made a nice call.
Oh, you scum! Nice hand.
Nice call. I mean, it's a pay jump.
I know.
I have to do that. I can't be a total wimp. You played it better than I did. You got the short.
It depends what happens when the river's a 3.
I wasn't betting. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
I was done. I mean, I don't think I could have manned up. Maybe I could have. Possible.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
I can't be upset about that one.
Jack.
Oh, you scum!
I mean, it's a pay jump.
I know.
I have to do that.
For the first time all tournament, the players spend a lot of time now at short-handed tables. During days 1 through 6, tables were 9-handed. Now as the field shrinks, there are no players to move around.
It's a microcosm of life. In nursery schools, you're friends with everyone. When you become an adult, you're playing the friend game short-handed. Everyone has moved on.
So you should be impressed with your own demeanor. I'm impressed with your demeanor given your first main event and how young you are.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
What are you saying? First main event?
Yeah, he's 25. It's his first main event. I was just telling him I'm really impressed with his demeanor.
I'm a big fan of buttering up your poker neighbors, but I don't like the word demeanor.
I mean, I guess it's easy if you've gone through 6 days. You know,
Yeah,
you
right.
just walk through with a smile on your face.
First main event, too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It just doesn't flow in a natural conversation, demeanor.
What's the number on your counter, Cliff?
What's that?
Say, what's the number on your counter for
This
the
is
main
my
event?
12th. You?
9th.
Look forward to it every year.
It's one tournament I wouldn't want to miss every year.
Raised to 650.
Everything they say about it is true.
I guess Charles Manson wouldn't be characterized as having a pleasant demeanor.
Kenny Hallaert, the Belgian poker tournament director, folds his small blind. Will Kassouf in the big blind.
Speaking of demeanors.
650 total.
Everyone seems happy and chatty except for Mr. Kassouf. Ace deuce of clubs.
I would classify Kassouf's demeanor at the moment as slow.
Just about every moment as slow. Well, Nowitzki gets a taker.
Clash of demeanors.
Awfully quiet when he doesn't talk. Ace is up for Kassouf. Nowitzki with a lesser two pair.
You just want to stuff them into a telephone booth with a pack of rabid weasels and see how it all works out.
He checks the best hand.
Nowitzki in the red zone, down to 17 big blinds, so he doesn't have a lot of wiggle room.
Well, he's going to fire at it. 600,000 continuation bet.
What happened to the speech play? Incredibly, I think we found the other half of Penn and Teller.
Well, this is like the Mr. Hyde part for Will Kassouf.
Oh, that's a lovely demeanor on that call.
600,000 is the call. Turn card. Another ace, and Kassouf with an unbeatable hand. Now ace is full of nines, and he checks again. And this time Mike checks back. River card is a deuce, and it brings a third heart and a different full house. Aces full of deuces for Will. No extra credit, though.
I think the silent one is done checking.
Got to try to get some value.
Oh, that's a lovely demeanor on that bet.
That's the nastiest bet I think I've ever seen at the World Series. $1,000,009.
I'll show my best card if you show yours. I'm folding. I fold. Okay. Wow. I feel ripped. Finally took the offer and I was denied.
I would classify Kassouf's demeanor now as disagreeable, inhospitable, and uncongenial.
How can you not be nice to Mike Nowitzki? Kassouf is missing a golden PR moment.
The best card wasn't good.
Kassouf apparently unimpressed that it's Nowitzki's first time.
So Nowitzki's stack melts away some more, and he is the shorty in the room. Still 19 players remaining. At one of the two remaining outer tables sits Jerry Wong. The one-time chip leader has a solid fifth-place stack right now. He moved from Brooklyn to Florida and now wants to move from day 7 on to the final table.
He went to Clinton Community College in New York, where he met his wife, and then he went to nearby SUNY Plattsburgh, where he got his degree in business. And it's bad business being a Knicks fan.
In the small blind, Wong 3-bet with pocket nines. Andrew Cristoforo opened with ace-jack.
Is that because I said I wanted to ladder and now you're thinking, yeah, I'll just steal that off him and...
So you figure out.
Okay, so listen, right? I think I'm going to see a flop. And then I've still got 6 mil. And I reckon I can definitely make it to the next spot.
So if I bet 5 million, are you going to just call and then table your hand so I can get a chance to see what you have?
Unless I hit the flop. If I hit the flop, then I might be in trouble if I hit the flop, right?
Yeah.
If I hit the flop, then what do I do? What would you do if you were me?
I can play your hand for you.
Play them both for us if you want.
Andrew, well aware of the pay jump, and I think he's taking his time here on purpose.
I'm going to do what I thought. I'm going to see a flop.
Man of your word.
Wong with a much bigger chip stack.
That'll definitely get me the extra 80K anyway. Good luck.
20% of Andrew's stack is in the middle.
Andrew flops top pair, crushing Wong's nines. Wong checks.
In most European Union nations, that noise constitutes a check.
But Britain is leaving the European Union.
Then we play on.
I know you're good. Are you that good? Is he that good?
He's not that good. Now the repeat, and Andrew now seems to be preparing for a speech.
If I get this wrong, he will tilt me for the rest of my poker life, you know that. That 80K goes down the toilet.
We saw Andrew do this earlier in the main event against Kenny Hallaert. When he talked up a storm, he then shoved with a big hand.
All in.
You heard him. Quick fold from Wong.
No more tilt. Seriously, I'll tilt forever. 80K is 80K, right? 80K is 80K. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying I had the best hand?
Huh? For you? No. No, I know, no.
It has been a hell of a ride. The main event of the World Series of Poker is the one tournament each year that I would never want to miss.
I'm not taking this for granted. I realize how special of an opportunity it is.
If there is a particular mountain that's pretty high, it's World Series of Poker main event champion. So, maybe we'll see what happens when I get there, and I'll decide whether or not it's, if I'm going to be shouting like I'm Ryan Reese, I'm the best in the world now. But we'll have to see. Hopefully, that's what ends up happening.
It's taken a lot of play to get here, and there's still quite a bit left to get to the top. Finish off day 7, then conquer the November 9. 19 remain.
Big pay jump, guys. Probably won't want to steal this big blind right now. I'm actually getting cards for the first time all tournaments. So.
For the first time in this tournament?
First time today. sorry.
I'm going to go on a limb and say all of us have gotten some cards this tournament.
Yeah. Oh, God, did I have some rushes, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Action on the suddenly reticent Will Kassouf. 9-8 of hearts.
There wouldn't be any luck in this game. We all wouldn't be here, I think.
Yeah, he still seems to be in a mood.
A raise to 650. Veo folds to the small blind Nowitzki. Ace queen off.
Oh, ace queen on a pay jump bubble. No. Don't want to lose you, Mike.
He's the short stack in the room. He sets aside 25 grand and pushes the rest.
He virtually shoves with 13 big blinds left. I guess the 25K behind is a pay jump insurance type of thing.
So it's 4.1 million back to Will Kassouf.
Well, this could be Bambi versus Godzilla again if Kassouf wants to gamble. Nowitzki easily could have, tens, jacks, queens, or a big ace.
Will has a real decision here. He could have 2 live cards. Bust a player, bust the pay bubble. Will looking over at the other table to see if there's any relevant action there. And there is. Tommy Miller's all in with King Jack against Tom Marchese's Ace Queen. Miller's wife Liz suffering through the moment. So they will see a flop.
Yeah.
And Miller scores a king in his double up bid.
King, yes, please. Oh, the Aquasita is still king.
Marchese still with a chance for the knockout. Kassouf still thinks, and an ace on the turn, and Marchese gives Miller just one more shot.
The architectural technologist takes it stoically. Boy, his wife might have left him. Oh, well, if Miller wants her back, he better hit a river king or jack.
It's a 4. Miller comes up empty and chips, but not in cash. Tommy Miller with his biggest ever poker payday, almost 270 grand. So the mini bubble burst. Everyone gets a raise. Will Nowitzki get a call from Kassouf now?
Clock. Stalling on bubbles is as time-tested a tradition in poker as flopping in soccer. Unless you penalize it, it will continue.
How could you knock this guy out? Mike's dad and sister suffering through this as well, not unlike Tommy Miller's wife, but they're still in the room.
I guess Kassouf is considering a call here. I would be surprised if he does.
Well, he does have a huge stack, and he's going to use it to try to knock out Mike Nowitzki.
It's just that he just called, and I have a quarterback, so like.
Your boy's almost all in, Chris.
All right, let's see a flop so I can see if I can fold.
Here's the flop. Nowitzki finds an ace, and he puts the hammer down.
Flop for mine.
It's a good one for me.
Yeah, I knew he was shoving with an ace. Nice hand. Nice hand. Got back doors.
There's going to be a backdoor sweat, 100%.
There's going to be a backdoor sweat. I'll get it out of the way now if it comes. It's unlucky.
I think there's going to be like a 6 of hearts on the turn. I don't know what the river
I know
is.
you're shoving with an ace there.
Yeah.
I know you're shoving with an ace there. Heart on the turn. You know it comes with like a 6 of hearts on the turn.
It's going to be that.
One time.
Like, do you know what the river's going to be? Because I don't.
6 of hearts on the turn. Watch. It's got to be a 6 of hearts on the turn.
Yeah.
For a big sweat.
How about a 4?
Here it comes. 6 of hearts.
Turn card, another tray.
Okay.
Kassouf drawing dead, and he'll slide over 4 million chips to Mike Nowitzki.
Still alive.
Nice hand, man.
Bambi survives Godzilla.
Not dead yet.
All smiles for the Monty Python fan and his family.
I just felt I was live there. You can be shoving with any ace. Nice hand.
Okay, actually made money today. Good.
Hard not to root for that fella.
Well, that is the first pay jump of day 7. Kassouf's slow call doesn't pay off, but he gets the pay jump anyway. 18 left now. 2 new tables of 9 when we come back. First, it was 24-year-old Brit Matt Moss, then 30-year-old pro Kaquan Lau, and just recently architectural technologist Tommy Miller. We're down to 18. Half will make the November 9. 1 player over 40 million right now, 2 over 30 million, the rest all bunched up below them.
The oldest player left, 50-year-old Cliff Josephy, our chip leader. It just looks as if he's on a beeline to the November 9.
First-timers Nowitzki and Cristoforo in the danger zone, but it's Gordon Vail on the short stack. We spoke to the chip leader during the redraw.
It's day 7, and you know, since day 1, everything's really gone according to plan. I mean, since after day 1. Day 1 was very rough. Had a really hard time, but I'm glad I was very, very, very patient. I mean, you gotta keep your eye on the prize and play the game. It's just a game, or else you can mess up.
You'll feel a little different at the end of the night if you're still here?
Maybe.
All right, good luck. Thanks, Cliff.
Yeah, you just got me. Let's get out of here. Don't show my soft side.
All the chips are tilting toward the East Coast right now. Josephy, our top stack from New York, now at the same outer table with our second top stack, Hoboken, New Jersey's Michael Ruan.
New lineup, new blinds, 2 and 400,000 with a 50K ante. Remember, 50K was the starting stack. Will Kassouf has failed to return. Same for Andrew Cristoforo.
I don't know how people could be late. 2 people gone.
Yeah, I don't like money.
It's overrated.
Surprised they're starting without them.
The main event waits for no one.
So the rest will play on. The 2 Brits somewhere in the room, we hope, on their way to the table.
I almost missed it myself.
Action has been folded to Griffin Benger, 31-year-old Canadian with pocket kings.
What's the big line, 400,000?
Benger, a self-described nerd, comic book collector, video gamer, Blue Jays fanatic.
His 90th place in the 2014 main event is the best finish of anyone left in this main event, a raise to 850.
Benger won the World Championship of Counter-Strike in 2004. It was a different game then.
Folded around to Johnson of the big blind.
31-year-old LA pro.
Born in Illinois, pocket deuces.
850.
He's a graduate of Indiana University, another business major who eventually decided the business of poker was best for him.
Sin wants to play, just calls. So hoping. So the kings are still good for Benger. Sin checks.
How much did you start with, around?
10. When you ask how much they started with, you usually have a good hand.
Or you just want to know how much they started with.
Or that.
Benger. With 1,150,000.
When I play simulated main event hands at the Norman Chad School of Poker, that bet in this spot usually ends the hand.
And it does indeed. Game theory, subtlety, aggression, they're all part of poker, but also integral to many forms of competition, all of which Benger excels at no matter the stage.
I definitely
don't like to lose. I needed to be competing in something where it was like really to be at the highest level. Computer games ended up being the first thing in my life to do that. Counter-Strike was very team-based. It was 5-on-5. And yeah, I wanted to kind of become the best at it. Growing up as a Blue Jays fan, around that sort of age 7 to 10 was just like nothing else. I wear the Blue Jays cap because it represents where I grew up and a team that means a lot to me. Baseball's such a beautiful sport. I still love it to this day. It's nice to be competitive in something that isn't your livelihood. I've been playing baseball for 25 years, first baseman primarily. Used to pitch when I was a kid, but blew out my arm when I was like 13, so I'm just stuck at first now. I'd always throw the ball with my dad in the alleyway and stuff like that.
I used to hit him tennis balls in the air, and they were $2, $5, and $10 catches.
It was a huge thrill for me back then. Kind of got my competitive juices flowing.
He was so tenacious. I used to say to myself, man, this kid never gives up.
I wasn't expecting that. If we could find something that we were both good at, we'd compete.
This is mine, I think, isn't it?
Maybe.
This is going to be the big dilemma today. To take nightclub out there or beach club.
He had a nose for the money. He wanted the $10 hit every time.
It's competitive, bordering on psychotic, for sure.
It's really nice to get out there and enjoy the game. It's really special.
Griffin loves the Blue Jays so much, he named his dog Ollie after his favorite Blue Jays player, 1990 star John Olerud.
And look who's back. Hastily placed microphone so Will and Andrew can play the next hand.
And there goes the quiet.
But, Lazy Joe's Fish and Chips is a 15-minute drive from the Rio, so there's that. Ace Queen under the gun for Jerry Wong, a raise to $1 million. Gordon Veo with pocket tens.
Veo down to 15 bigs. Veo and Wong, good friends.
All in.
And there it is. All in for almost $6.3 million. Let's see if he's got any takers. Folded back around to Wong.
4, 5, 6. Like 6 plus whatever this is.
About a quarter of Wong's remaining stack.
There's the call.
Good luck.
And Gordon Veo officially at risk.
Good luck, man. Good luck, Gordy.
Good luck, man.
The last time we saw Veo at risk, he had ace-king against Jonas Lauk's pocket aces and survived, making a straight on the turn. This time, Veo ahead against his buddy.
Gordon said day 7 is all gravy after that hand.
They're trying to hide, huh?
You want to sweat together? Let's sweat it. All right, bro. Whatever happens, man. I hope you win. If you take my chips, I'll go all the way.
I like this. You never see Josh Norman and Odell Beckham Jr. sweat a replay review together.
They played a lot together on day 6. Pocket 10 still good for Gordon Veo.
Ace Queen.
Just another day at the office. One of them hopes to win, $8 million in November.
Turn card now. Gordon Veo looking to hang on against the 2 overs of Jerry Wong. King of Hearts does Wong no good. Veo still ahead.
Wong has 6 outs to send his friend packing. Gordon Veo looking to avoid an ace or a queen to keep his November 9 hopes alive.
The river card, a jack, and Veo takes it.
Still alive. Thanks, bro.
Okay, let's head back to the salt mines and dig for gold.
Pocket 10s do the trick. Veo gets the double up, but he can't relax. He still is $5 million short of the average stack and in 12th place right now.
Well, the 2 buddies have pretty similar stacks now.
Wong drops out of the top 9 with more than a quarter of his chips relocating across the table. The average stack right now, just under 19 million. Desperation creeps in. Gordon Veo finds 10s and gets the double up.
The best poker content on the internet.
Your super high rollerball 7 champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wheels are coming off.
That's the craziest hand I've ever seen. What was that bite?
Go to get.pokergo.com/YT24 for $20 off a new annual subscription.
Well, it might not be a bracelet you wear on your wrist, but it certainly would look good in a trophy case. The 2016 World Series of Poker main event bracelet. Kenny Hallaert and his pocket jacks just got 3-bet by Wojciech Ruzicka with ace-jack. Ruzicka with the bigger of the 2 stacks by about 11 million.
Both of them north of 50 big blinds.
Hallaert says all in. And Ruzicka quickly folds ace-jack, not worth it.
If I had pocket jacks, I wouldn't want to see a flop either. This guy's been around enough poker tournaments to know that.
Yep, he's not afraid to shove at this critical stage of this tournament. So now the top 4 stacks overall sit at that table. Back now to the main featured table. Short-stacked Andrew Christoforou with ace-9 in the cutoff position. Saw Gordon Vail open for 900,000. He's got aces. Will Kassouf called. He loves to see a flop. He's got queen-10 off.
All in.
And Christoforou moves all in for 7.1 million.
That's an ambitious all-in from Christoforou. 17 bigs left for the first-timer.
Vail verifies his aces. He re-raises all in to isolate. Kassouf with a quick fold. So Christoforou at risk, his ace-9 up against the aces.
Christoforou has run into aces twice late on day 7. First with ace-king, now with ace-9.
And Kassouf's only ally appears to be on his way out.
Any hearts about? I did not fold any hearts.
It's a long, tough grind. I think Andrew would like to have both of his plays back with the ace-king and now the ace-9.
Gordon's fiancée, Kate, always close.
Veo, of course, cracked pocket aces to survive day 6. Now his pocket aces could send Christoforou home.
It's not be fun. Let it go. 18 bigs.
All right, here's our flop. 6 queen, 4, 1 heart.
Pretty bleak for Andrew Christoforou.
10 of hearts on the turn, is it? Just for a sweat. 10 of hearts on the turn.
Kassouf hasn't called a card correctly since the War of 1812.
Turn card, no heart. It ends it for our first timer. The entertaining Andrew Christoforou is out.
Hate to see him go.
338 grand is the payout.
Oh, head up, come, stay on the rail, yeah? The boys are here. Stay on the rail, I like him.
Gordon Vail with the knockout. He's on the rise still.
Yeah, this is like yesterday. We came back from dinner. I got an ace-king versus aces for 5 million, and I won.
And you won?
Yeah, I won.
Wow.
It was just dead on the turn. It's just insane. I don't know, it's almost surreal. It's just...
Andrew Christoforou is with Kara Scott right now.
It's been an incredible run here. Coming all the way to day 7, can you look at this as a success at this point?
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Give us an idea of what it means to you to have come this far.
A lot. I used to play cash quite a bit, and only the past 2 years I've been playing tournament, and actually found out that it's better for my game than cash was. So I always known that I can go deep, and I have. So yeah.
And it looks like you've proven that as well. A lot of people back at home in the UK watching. Is that true?
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
What are you going to do when you get home? Then how are you going to celebrate?
I don't think I'm going to celebrate. I'm devastated. Absolutely devastated. Just going to go back, get on with what we do, and Barcelona.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. I misread my hand.
We got 3 pairs?
I misread it.
Wait, when's your book coming out?
Floor. His influence in play. If I get this wrong, you will tilt me for the rest of my poker life, you know that. 80K's 80K, right?
He charmed us from start to finish. A great debut for Mr. Fish and Chips first-timer Andrew Christoforou. In a poker tournament, you are truly never out of it. Gordon Vail has shot up the leaderboard on the back of some good cards, a little luck, and a lot of poker experience.
I just started playing poker very, very young. Not something I would recommend to other people that were similar age. My parents did about everything they could to try to stop me, but there was just, there was just nothing they could do. I was just going to find a way. They're both teachers. I was making, more money than my parents when I was in high school, and to me that, this was just like incredible. So as a result, I was expelled from high school 3 weeks before graduation. My dad, growing up, had a bit of a tough time with it. There's just no way he was gonna get on board. But the day I turned 18, he flipped a switch, basically, and he was very supportive, and my parents are really supportive. I love what I do. I love playing poker professionally, and I love the freedom that it allows me and things like that. But like, do I wish that I might have? You know, my parents always say, well, yeah, go play poker. Just go to school, make sure you have something else you can do if you, for whatever reason, you know, this doesn't work out or you find your interests change or whatnot. And, you know, it's 10 years later and I'm still enjoying playing poker every day.
Blind on blind, Veo with ace-jack, Kassouf with 2 aces in the big blind.
Now show me folding. Got a big hand in. Just limps at the trap.
There's a call.
Just got a mediocre hand, just want to see a flop.
And the Will Kassouf mind games begin.
I've got to find out where I am, right? I think I'm ahead. That's one way to find out, unless you're trapping me with a monster. 1.2.
A raise now to Gordon, who has been most vocal of Kassouf's guerrilla poker tactics.
Talk to me, don't be shy. Cameras are rolling. Made the final 18, made the pay jump. Congratulations. This is it. Don't want to make a silly move now, this will be on TV. Wow. Still setting the trap.
Always a mind game with Will. He'd tell the guy at Chipotle he wants a chicken burrito when he really wants a steak bowl.
All diamonds and ace for both. Veo with top pair, Kassouf with a set. Veo checks.
Have a look, see if you've got a diamond so we save time. Have a look.
Veo does have a diamond. Will?
Oh, I qualify.
Of course doesn't.
You got any of that?
These two have some history. Veo has voiced his dismay with Will's antics, and he's been around for many of Kassouf's worst moments, all the way back to the Stacey Madison hand that led to Will's one-orbit penalty.
Scary looking board. Yeah, if you got it, you got it, right?
$1,775,000.
You got it, you got it. Could be a cooler, blind and blind. We can't have the same hand, surely. Now show me passing. Got the best hand at the moment.
By the way, how do you get expelled from high school 3 weeks before graduation? That's like Sid in An Officer and a Gentleman. Nobody DORs after 11 weeks at officer candidate school.
Will would love a call and then a clean board, and he gets the call.
2 even stacks, Veo in trouble.
Turn card 7 of diamonds. Veo scores a flush to grab the advantage from Kassouf and his 3 aces, and another check from Gordon.
Wow. When Veo cracked aces on day 6 to stay alive, he turned a Broadway straight, and this time he is cracking aces by turning a diamond flush. Bad beat in progress for Will Kassouf.
I suppose a blank on the turn doesn't change anything, does it?
That blank on the turn changed everything.
It's not the nut flush for Veo. And a check back. River card, another diamond. Veo with a jack of diamonds has the better flush.
Veo has the 5th nut flush. King beats him, queen beats him, and of course, an 8 of diamonds or the tray 4 would beat him with a straight flush.
He checks a 3rd time, maybe setting himself up for a tough decision. Should Will fire away here?
Boy, Kassouf had Veo crushed in this hand. He is now crushed. It's pretty likely they'd be chopping here most of the time, both playing the board. Kassouf could be thinking of repping a big diamond in his hand with a bet. It's hard for your opponent to call if he doesn't have a big diamond, but Veo does.
3.3 million.
3.3 million to Veo with the big gulp.
River saved you, had you on the turn. Bad river card for me.
No, it was a bad turn card for you. And now maybe a bad river bet.
And there is a call from Veo.
Just playing the board.
Playing the board, not good enough.
Bad, man.
That's a shame.
Gordon Veo will collect another big pot.
Send mate.
He was a short stack not long ago, but he has climbed into 4th place. Not sure if Kassouf is more disgusted with himself, Veo, or the board. Regardless, that riverbed will leave a mark. Josh Weiss, Mike Nowitzki, and Jared Bleznick back to action now. Griffin Benger under the gun. 2 black aces for the man from Queen City, Hogtown, T-Dot, the 6.
Anything else?
The Big Smoke, Toronto, Canada. He's going to raise it up to 875.
Griffin is 31 years old. He just feels 32 or 33 to me.
Will Kassouf, oh my, 2 black kings.
Big hand at the wrong time. And we now will wait for Will Kassouf because this is his time. In his defense, he also does this with 9 deuce.
And everyone will wait with him. Benger with a bigger stack by 6 million. Will's putting that number into his equation on what to do next. He creates his own metronome, though, with the shuffling of the chips.
It is impressive.
Kassouf in middle position, and he re-raises to 2.3 million.
When you've got pocket aces and someone raises, it might be the best feeling in poker.
Boy, re-raise sounds better than the Canadian national anthem to Benger right now. Long fold, so back to Benger with the aces.
I have to find out where I am. I think I'm ahead at the moment. I think you need to get lucky. I don't know if yours get lucky is good enough. No shame in passing. You're the best hand at the moment. Otherwise you'd have called by now. So I must have you beat, right? We can talk, heads up. Don't be shy. All the folks watching at home. At least crack a smile. No? Oh, incoming. Really? No. Just to Hollywood, right? How many miles from here to Hollywood, do you know? It's like 230 miles something from here to Hollywood. Do we know? How many miles from here to Hollywood?
Haven't we heard his Hollywood routine before?
2 shows nightly.
There it comes.
And there's a 4-bet to 5.6 million. Back at you, Will.
How much?
5.6.
5.6? What? Find out where you are? So I'll take it if I ship it, you're not passing then. 5.6 total.
Kassouf has built his whole image for this moment. Talk a big game, then show up with the goods, except he's crushed.
It's a month past Griffin's birthday, but he has to feel like it's right now.
Well, this could be the one then. This could be the one. Have you got me covered or have I got you covered?
She looks a little fire.
Do you know? Can you count? What's that? Have you got me covered or? Can you tell me? Okay, how much you playing total? How much you have at the start of the hand?
Benger takes the 5th.
Does he not? Can he not say?
He's over 15. He has 17, 18 at least.
Benger campaign spokesman Gordon Veo confirms Griffin's chip count. And there's the Kassouf trademarked repeat.
It's one of these coolers again, really, back to back. If you got it, right? Well, big-handed, I don't think I can pass. Oh, you got me beat, you got me beat, it's poker, isn't it? I can't call, it's either all in or pass. What do you want me to do? You want me to go all in or fold? Talk to me. You don't say anything, I might have to ship it here.
Go right ahead, Will. You ship it, it's a shipwreck.
You want to gamble? I'm not here to ladder, I'm here to win it. I'm not laddering. Play for the win, right? You doing the same? Or are you going to wait for the next page jump at 15? 90K is 90K, right? That's the main event for the next 9 years.
Griffin looks like he'd just as soon get on with it.
Clock. I think I might have to.
You're just an abusive person, man. It's not funny. It's not a game.
Abusive? Why am I-
You're being abusive to me.
How am I being abusive?
You're being abusive. It's called verbal abuse.
Why
What
is
you're
it-
doing to me is verbal abuse.
You're not even gaining any information. He's
what
not
you're
talking
doing
to you.
is verbal abuse.
Why is
You're
it
a
verbal
bully.
abuse?
It's rude. It's mean.
It's called speech play.
It's not about.
I'm
No,
giving
it's
heads
not
up.
called speech play. It's called being a bad person. You should
How's
really
a bad
check
person?
yourself.
Why? Why is it
Check
being a
your
bad person?
privilege.
This is called
Rob.
speech play.
Check your privilege.
I'm trying to get information.
Check your
from her.
privilege. You're a rude person.
I'm not a rude person.
You're a
at all.
rude person. It's verbal abuse. This is what it feels like. See, now you look at. He's not your dad. He's not going to help you. Stop. No one is going to help you.
You don't need to go on tilt.
No one is going to help you.
It's called speech play.
That
Heads
is
up.
5.6 million
Heads up.
chips.
5.6.
That is what the bet is.
5 on chips. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I'm trying to get information from you.
No, you're verbally abusing me.
It's not verbal abuse.
Yes, it is. Ask anyone else here. Your word against theirs.
You want to gamble? Okay, I'm all in.
I call.
Let's go.
Come on, baby. Let's go. Whatever happens, he's cooler. Whatever happens, he's cooler.
He's never folding anyway.
Put a king, I don't care. Put a king, I don't care. I'm not slow rolling him. Put a king out there, I'm fine. My life is good. Screw this guy.
We're having fun. Now we're playing poker.
Now would be the time. King of Hearts, watch. Watch
Give
now
it
the
to him.
Hollywood,
It
huh?
doesn't matter.
Hold
He's
this
still
Hollywood.
miserable. I'm happy.
Verbal abuse. I'll show you verbal abuse. You can't take it. You can't take it. That's right. Let it get to you. You're losing it.
Let it get to me.
You see me smiling all the time.
I'm still smiling.
Yeah, you let it get to you. I get under your skin, man. Get under your skin. We've got fireworks now. Let's go. Let's go. The king's coming. I'm telling you
That's
now.
fine. That's
King
fine.
of Hearts on the flop.
That won't change
King
my
of Hearts
life.
on the
It won't
flop.
change
They're gonna
my
be quiet.
life.
They're going to lift off now.
It won't change my life.
Watch. All right. But the King of Hearts on the pow. Smash him. King of Hearts on the
I
flop.
have aces, he
Smash
has
him.
kings for everything. We have the aces, yes.
Smash him.
Becomes who cares.
If this gets any worse, it might rival the Russian roulette scene in the Deer Hunter.
Kassouf at risk.
I say King of Hearts, big heart. King of Hearts on the flop.
Almost 28 million in the pot.
King one time.
If it comes,
King.
it's okay.
No king.
Okay, we're good.
This feels like will against the world, and the world is winning.
If it happens, it happens. It's happened to me before. I'll be fine.
Kassouf stands isolated at the crux of his main event.
Three, baby.
Turn card does nothing for Will Kassouf.
Come on.
What's that? King of the river. Did it say in the earpiece? King of the river. King of Hearts of the river. We're nice.
3 ball.
One time. One time.
Clear that board.
One time.
Clear that board. Clear that baby board. Let's go. 3.
No
Three.
king, no
Three.
more Kassouf.
Flick it out there. Show
And
me
the
that.
king's about.
Show me
Ping.
3. Show me 3.
Come on! Come on!
Has he got me covered? Hey, can someone get a count? Just in case?
Will wants a count. His count is 0 and falling.
This massive transaction officially complete, leaving Will Kassouf on the outside looking in.
So much like that should have been. Yeah, that should have been in 5 seconds.
Out in 17th
I'll
place.
play him, man.
That's a shame.
Good game, man. Okay. Okay, good luck. Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck.
If Mike Nowitzki
Good luck.
won't
Okay.
shake your hand, you need to reassess.
Benger plays champion for the rest of this table, who take much joy in this moment. Benger into third place with that massive pot. Will Kassouf with a huge payday.
Good luck, sir. Come on, England. Oi, oi. 9 high like a boss. Big heart of a lion. 9 high like a boss. Booyah! I can't call this either all in or pass. What do you want me to do? You want me to go all in or fold? Talk to me.
You're a bully. It's rude. It's mean.
It's called speech play.
It's not about.
I'm
No,
giving
it's
heads
not
up.
called speech play. It's called being a bad person. You should really check yourself.
You want to gamble? Okay, I'm all in. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! We've got fireworks now. Let's go. And the king's about.
Come on! Come on!
Will is down with Kara now.
What a situation, Will, with kings into aces like that. Talk to us about, what's going through your gut right now.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here, just enjoying the moment. Win or lose, you always see me smiling. I think there's always going to be sour grapes with some of the Americans here, not being so welcoming. It hasn't been looked on favourably in terms of my speech play. It's part of my strategy. It's been successful over the years. I've played 7 days of poker to get this far. Top 17 or 16 out of 6,737 players, so that's no mean feat. So I've had to really grind hard, but I came here to win. So the purpose of coming here to win, if I win big, my dollars are going to be worth a lot more when I go back.
Well, it is a really incredible feat what you've done here. So thank you so much for talking to us, and I hope you can look back at this and really be proud of it. Thank you.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy myself, as long as I'm inspiration. Thank you.
The recipient of that cooler, Griffin Benger, now sitting in third place. Will Kassouf will collect 17th place money.
After all the commotion and everything, I thoroughly enjoyed my experience, but I thought I had to highlight this because I thought that
I think
I'm
you're
not one to complain
right.
about anything, but he was completely out of line.
After the experience you had, you 100% are within your right. I'm definitely going to address that.
Yeah.
And I want you to leave on a good note and know
of course,
that.
I don't mind it so much personal, but he's like saying things about against our country, go back home to England, get off, and the rest of it.
That crosses a line. We talk about a line, that line is crossed when that stuff happens.
So he should definitely get a penalty for that.
I'm going to go address that.
Thanks again. Hopefully see you this time next year.
Yeah, I'm going to see you again.
It'll be great. It'll be nice to see you in London.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Erfel.
You got
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The World Series of Poker survives Will Kassouf.
I saw you standing there, I'm like, feared the worst.
And a main event debt of gratitude to honorary Navy SEAL Griffin Benger.
He was completely out of line. There you go. That's Griffin Benger. Is he US or is he Canadian?
I think he's Canadian.
Is he Canadian? That's very unlike Canadians, but maybe he's one of a kind. Maybe he's one of a kind.
Insulting the Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Insulting the King, insulting the English, insulting us about the Brexit.
No knighthood for Griffin Benger. He'll never be Sir Griffin Benger.
Forget that. Jack Effel's going to have a word with him, so he's going to have a verbal warning about that one. But there you go. You can't please everyone, so everyone's has their own personality, individuality. But there you go. Marvellous. It's been emotional.
After nearly 7 days of grueling play,
there it is.
Will Kassouf was eliminated in one of the most memorable hands in World Series history.
You're just an abusive person, man. It's not funny.
How am I being abusive?
You're being abusive. It's called verbal abuse.
Why is it verbal abuse?
Bully, it's rude, it's mean.
It's called speech play.
It's not about, it's not
up.
called speech play. It's called being a bad person. You should really check yourself.
You want to gamble? Okay, I'm all in.
Paul.
Let's go.
All in and a call.
Now we're having fun.
Come on.
We've got fireworks now. Let's go.
Come on! Come on!
It's almost surreal.
Now the remaining 16 players must move past Kassouf to move on to the final table.
Oh, you scum! Still alive.
Look forward to it every year.
One tournament I wouldn't want to miss.
Everything they say about it is true.
You need to get lucky. Please crack a smile.
If it were written this way, it wouldn't be believed.
You're a bully. It's rude. It's mean. You should really check yourself.
With 17 players left at the 2016 World Series of Poker main event.
You want to gamble? Okay, I'm all in.
I call. Let's go!
Will Kassouf's bid for the November 9 came to a crashing halt.
Come on! Come on!
Now, in a post-Kassouf world, will Griffin Benger continue to build his stack? Can Cliff Josephy parlay a charmed life into a bracelet? Is first-timer Mike Shin savvy enough to secure a spot at the final table? Tonight, 16 players condensed to 9.
Still alive!
On the way to $8 million. And with the Will Kassouf chapter closed, the rest of the main event story can now be written. The last few moments before we have our final table. Hi everyone, Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and Kara Scott. The Amazon room still buzzing from Will Kassouf's stunning exit.
Did you see that? Did you see the entire hand? An incredible moment.
Hey, how you doing?
With Will's exit, Cliff Josephy moves from the other table to rebalance at 8-8. Josephy is in the proverbial driver's seat in the chip lead.
When Cliff was born, he was in the driver's seat. If you told me he drove his mom to the hospital before she gave birth, I'd believe you. He is superhuman on and off the poker table.
27-year-old pro Gordon Vail has made a charge up the leaderboard.
If everyone who didn't graduate high school turned out like Gordon Vail, we'd be in a good place. With all that said, stay in school, folks.
Slayed the dragon pretty early, so.
I'm not sure. Like, it's good television when you have the villain. And then, right. I mean, well, Mike's had a good point. He goes, people like karma.
Yeah, I like Griffin, but it's worse for my equities.
It's worse for all of our equity, and yet we were all hoping it would happen. Yeah, that shows you how big of a this guy was.
It's because he lost it. He bluffed off a bunch to Gordon.
Gordon Vail among a big group not sorry to see Will Kassouf go.
I firmly believe the reason he did so well in this tournament was because of his ability to talk to people. However,
it got to a point in the tournament where nobody was feeding into it anymore. And it really was having no effect on anything. But he would draw out all these hands, he would just talk to you, he would just talk at you, but nobody was responding over and over again, and he would just be wasting time, and we were seeing like probably 2/3 at the most hands of like everybody else, and it was really getting on the nerves of everybody. He was also just a pretty obnoxious person, and had just a pretty like abrasive personality. So he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and eventually it just kind of reached this boiling point where everybody was just fed up with him, and it finally just exploded in that one hand. That was pretty crazy. So I think that was probably the coolest moment that I've been here for so far.
It felt like the execution of Will Kassouf.
I barely know Griffin, but I'm now a huge fan.
Jerry Wong has the action, ace-6 of clubs, and he raises to 900,000. The blind's at 2 and 400,000 with a 50K ante. It's been folded to Gordon Vail on the big blind, 8-6 of spades.
Vail with the suited one gapper. We call that the Michael Strahan.
Vail makes the call.
Vail's going to ride his rush. But Lon, to ride the rush, you have to have a rush. I'm waiting. It's been a while.
There's still time. And what a rush it is. Vail flops the straight. Wong with a straight draw to chop, his only way of getting chips back. Vail checked it.
Vail and Wong are good friends. I hope their friendship can survive this hand.
They both check. King of Hearts on the turn.
Just for kicks, Vail should channel Will Kassouf here. Kind of pay homage to him by chatting up Wong incessantly.
Boy, would he get the bum rush out of here. Vail waiting no longer. $1,000,001.
Wong might figure his ace is good, or if he hits the ace, that would be good. And of course, he has the up and down straight draw.
And that will keep Jerry around. And it's a tray on the river. That is ugly. Wong, it's the bottom end of his straight draw, which is no good.
That would be the worst card in the deck for Jerry Wong. Vail has the nuts. His soon-to-be former friend has the second nuts.
He's putting a lot of those mini Frisbees together. The red oversized chip worth $500,000 each. Vail with a pot-sized bet. Wong calls.
Second off the nuts.
Running okay.
It's not even real right now.
Vail began day 7 well under the average. He's now in second place overall. And Wong drops into 9th.
If they ever eat dinner again, it will be separate checks.
Still 16 players. A very handsome payout right now, but a pay jump of almost 90 grand looming after one more knockout. All right, 2 of the big stacks at this table. Belgian poker tournament director Kenny Hallaert, he cashed in last year's main event and in 2012. And New Jersey pro Michael Ruan, whose biggest live cash ever prior to this was just over $17,000.
Hallaert is technically an amateur, and Ruan hardly ever plays live tournaments. Boy, they're doing quite well.
Folded to New Yorker Jared Bleznick with king 10 off.
He just can't seem to build a stack here in the late stages. And he's friendly with Phil Hellmuth, and he even sits up right at the table like the brat.
Come on.
And he says all in with king 10, unlike Phil Hellmuth.
Jared pushes with 14 bigs left. This would be for about 1/6 of Kenny Hallert's stack. Definitely not an automatic call. Ace-king, ace-queen, yes. Ace-10 or worse, no. Ace-jack, who knows? Looks like they're bonding at this tender moment.
Boy, Kassouf leaves, and suddenly it's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Hallaert makes the call.
What? I said you don't have to say anything and you're still hilarious.
Some action behind.
Good luck, man.
Big blind, James Obst. He folds, so here we go.
That's like I'm happy you showed me that. I'm a dog, but I'm happy.
Bleznick's happy and at risk.
Bleznick will sweat the dealer. Jared at risk, and he hits top pair.
We gotta fade 2 cards. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this hand.
Turn card now. There's a new top pair in town, and it belongs to Hallaert.
Oh, everyone knows touching Wojciech Ruzicka is bad luck. What a bonehead play by Bleznick. Go touch your opponent. That might work.
Bleznick needs the river. The river card, another deuce. Jared Bleznick with a great main event run, but it's over for 2016.
He takes it in stride. Great showing.
16th place and over 338 large for Jared Bleznick. And Kenny now with the second biggest stack in the room.
The poker tournament director knows how to handle chips.
With Jared Bleznick's exit, we are down to just 15 players. The Amazon room is a little more serious and undoubtedly a lot quieter, and not just because Will Kassouf is on a plane going back to England. The stakes are huge. Survive a few more eliminations and get a chance at $8 million. And Norman, I'm sure you've saved a few pearls of wisdom for our final 15.
Remember Thomas Edison, Mr. Lightbulb? What if his invention never did what it was supposed to? What if he built it, tested it, showed it to the world, and then it didn't turn on? That's what 15th place all the way down to 10th feels like here. A burnt out bulb. Darkness. The light either comes on or it doesn't. You either make the November 9 or you don't. It's the biggest stage in poker. If you want to be a part of history, find a way to make your light bulb work.
On day 7, Gordon Vail has been using a huge Hollywood searchlight. He can do no wrong. And here he's at it again after Spaniard Fernando Pons opened for $900,000 with a king-jack. Vail with ace-king.
No matter what hand you have, Vail will have a better hand. And here, if you have a better hand, he will suck out. Therefore, you cannot play a hand with Vail from now until he decides he's done winning.
A re-raise from Vail and the button. $2.6 million now the price to play. Nowitzki in the big blind with ace-jack of clubs.
I don't like this spot for Mike Nowitzki. 17 big blinds left. It's been raised and 3-bet. Ace-jack is in trouble against too many hands here.
Uh-oh. They're all moving as one. Nowitzki all in for almost $7 million. Pons gets out of the way.
Call.
And a call from Vail. Mike Nowitzki's going to need some of his well-used magic to stick around.
Nowitzki didn't get the memo on ace-jack, and he didn't get the memo on Gordon Vail.
Good game. You've been playing great.
Mike's sister and dad flew in today to support Mike.
I gotta be with my rail. That was close. Raise 3-bet, cut off button. You got the club blocker. Good. Everyone's away from the table. That's how I like it. We're not here to play poker. We're just here to watch.
Poker's new tradition. Walk away from the table, let the cards fall where they may.
But you know what? I'm going to be the only one at the table. That way I can be the only winner. Let's do this.
We saw Andrew Cristoforo overplay an ace a couple of times. I believe Nowitzki has done the same.
There is the flop. And how do you say bleak in Western Canadian?
Bleak. They speak English in Western Canada.
Oh, that's right. Turn card now, 5 of clubs, a flush draw for Nowitzki, and some chop outs.
All the sweats. Okay, now I can't take this.
Well, a great card hits when Mike's at the table, and now he retreats. Must be a first-timer.
One card to come.
Huh? Massage the dealer? I like this guy's idea. Come on. All right, come on. Come on, Jack. You can do it. Any club or any jack.
Check with Mike Carrera. That's got to be a penalty.
I don't think our dealer, Heather Alcorn, minds one bit. Mike with 11 outs. The river card, that's not one of them. Vail wins it with ace-king and punches Mike Nowitzki's ticket home.
I'll see you again, I'm sure, man.
Yeah,
we'll be
absolutely.
back. Good game. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Good game, man. Good game.
Gordon Vail continues his day 7 rush.
The good ones all die young.
game,
What
man.
a joy he was.
Hey, good game.
Playing me yesterday, man.
Thank you. That was a fun ride, guys. Good luck.
Take care. They should all be like that.
Mike Nowitzki was everything the main event is supposed to be. He outlasted more than 6,700 players, but first-timer Mike Nowitzki's main event run is over, out in 15th.
For the first time that you ever played the main event, what an incredible run. And honestly, it looked like you made a lot of friends out there too. And I know that's not what poker's about, but talk to us about this experience.
Honestly, the experience has been so much fun. And I know that, you know, coming into the main event, going this deep, your number one priority isn't to make friends, but the fact that, like, everyone was, like, so friendly at the table, and it really felt like a ton of people were on my side, that even after the bust-out hand, like, I didn't have any hard feelings at all. Like, I do not feel down, even though, you know, I'm out in 16th.
And I believe that you have your dad and your sister here as well right now railing you. What has it been like being able to do this in front of them?
Doing in front of them, they're not the type of people to be in Vegas, so the fact that they even showed up is amazing. For them to, like, get a taste of what it's been like to be on this run, like, I can't thank them enough to be here, and it's just awesome that they were able to share this experience with me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that kid's really impressive. I was really impressed with him. This is 25. It was his first main event. He was just like conducted himself.
He's a legend, man. I was talking to him a lot. Like, he's so good at poker, too.
Yeah, I can tell. I just told him, I'll see you again.
Yeah.
High praise for the 25-year-old Mike Nowitzki. With his elimination, we are down to 14 players. The live final table starts Sunday, October 30th at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN.
And the final table will unfold over 3 consecutive nights. We crown a champion on Tuesday, November 1st.
At the other table, the hat. It belongs to Qui Wen, who opened with ace-5 and got 2 callers. Going to see a flop. 10-6, queen, 2 spades. James Opes with a straight flush draw. He checks it.
I would never check a straight flush draw to a man wearing a raccoon hat.
Wen checks as well. Wojciech Ruzicka with ace-jack checks as well. He's got the best hand right now. The 5 hits Wen.
Opes might decide if nobody wants it, I'll take it right here.
Opes with some experience with a straight flush in this main event. Michael Ruan made one against his full house. He bets $1.5 million.
Wen has put aside his baccarat losing for his biggest poker payday ever.
With bottom pair. And the hat. And a lot of chips. That's a raise to $3.5 million. Ruzicka now with a suited ace-jack and the draw, and he gets out of the way.
This might be the one straight flush draw I might fold. Day 7 main event. Opes down to 16 big blinds. A call here is for nearly 1/3 of his stack.
He puts in $2 million more.
Well, you do have to gamble if you want to win this baby.
The river card. The 5 of spades, and Opes rivers his flush, not a straight flush. Win with trip 5s.
Well, the gamble pays off. Opes should have at least 30 bigs at the end of this action.
Opes checks it over to Wen.
And Qui Wen definitely will bet here. Trip 5s feels like a monster the way this hand played.
We win with almost enough to put Opes all in, $4 million.
Actually, originally I thought Opes might shove. And then I figured he was looking to check raise all in, but he hasn't insta-called. Does he really think Wen rivered a monster? It is effectively for his main event. And we did see him make a huge hero fold with his full house against Mike Ruan straight flush.
Win with trip 5s, Opes with the flush, 9 high flush.
Now the repeat, not a good sign. Opes not oozing confidence here.
A fold means Opes is the short stack with just $4.5 million, and that's what happens. Wow. Qui Wen will take that pot. Wen moves up a notch on the leaderboard. Opes nursing the short stack right now in the room.
I would have folded the turn and called the river. You hit your draw and then you muck? That's a George Costanza move.
Boy, we're not on a pay bump. I guess he read something in Wen's actions. All right, let's get back to the other 7-handed table. Griffin Benger in the small blind with 7-6.
Griffin 4 bets from 2-3. It goes like 900, 2-3, or like whatever, 900, 2-3, 8, 5-6. He tanks for like 5 minutes, right? And he's like, what do you got over there? What do you got?
And Griffin didn't tell him he didn't hold his cards up?
Okay, so eventually he starts just like just being typical, like super obnoxious self, right? And Griffin's just like...
Can you give it a second?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys.
No.
Benger and Pons see a flop. Flush draw for Pons.
Benger whiffs the flop and asks for no talk so he can bluff in silence.
$450,000 is the bluff. Now to Pons, the 37-year-old Spanish amateur who loves to fish the Mediterranean. He says he caught a 44-pound tuna one time.
I once caught a case of bumblebee tuna at Costco.
We're very proud of you, Norman. Pons, with the nut flush draw, makes the call.
I might have raised there with my draw if I were Pons, and Griffin Benger would be on to the next hand.
Tray of hearts gives both a gut shot, but Fernando's is no good.
Sure, you say Griffin has a gut shot. I say he still has 7 high.
Benger reaching for chips again. $1.4 million into the amateur.
This is blind versus blind. Chances are Benger doesn't have a hand. Raise with your draw. You've caught a big tuna, now catch a big bluff.
Pons is still the favorite, though that turn card did not help him. And with 4 diamonds to a flush, he makes that call.
He's a fisherman, not a poker player. What can I tell you? He should have raised.
River card now. 10 of clubs is a blank for both. King high is best for pawns.
Well, I can't blame Griffin Benger if he wants to fire again here. If you put pawns on a draw or a one-pair hand other than aces, this bet might work.
Looks like he's put together a big bet. He's got twice the stack as pawns, 3.2 million. And a fold from pawns, no pair, no call.
Well, okay, Griffin, you stopped that earlier conversation mid-hand. Now give them permission to resume it.
Benger sits in 5th place now. He assessed the situation properly and got some chips from pawns, who's now into 10th place.
Trust me, it's better on TV.
What's that?
It's better on TV. It'll be better on TV than Gordon could possibly describe.
Yeah. Fair point, Griffin. Fair point.
It feels all like a dream because I have dreamt about this. Like, I've dreamt about my friends being on the rail, the ESPN cameras. I know that it is real. I can touch myself and I can touch other people, and I know that like this is real, but it still doesn't really feel like it can possibly be real.
Like me, he's never read a poker book, never watched a training video. Unlike me, he plays great poker.
Here's a look at our top 9 sitting at the virtual final table for the moment. The average size chip stack at the actual final table will be 37.4 million. Fold the 2 San Francisco resident and chip leader, Gordon Vail with ace-deuce. He raises to 900,000. Cliff Josephy in the small blind with ace-5 of clubs, and he makes the call.
It's like 8 from here, but I'm sure it's 9.
John Sin now in the big blind with jack-10. With 12 million, he has half the average stack right now, but he does make the call.
So it will be 2 college grads against the involuntary high school dropout.
Here is the flop. 8-7 deuce, 2 clubs, a little something for all. Josephy with a flush draw, Sin with a gut shot, and the deuces for Veo are the best hand.
At this main event, Josephy says he's zigging when he's supposed to zag and zagging when he's supposed to zig. It's worked so far.
Josephy is favored in the hand. He bets $1.5 million now to Sin. With his draw, he calls. Veo with the deuces, the best hand, go into the muck.
I don't know if I like Sin hanging around here with his stack size and that board.
So it's flush draw versus straight draw. And an ace on the turn. Veo folded ace-deuce. Josephy does have top pair, and he's best.
Best hand, best draw is a good spot to be in. Best hand, best draw. That's pretty much Prince Charles' entire life.
It is indeed. And Prince Charles of Long Island bets $2.2 million.
Sin still with just the gut shot, and he can't like the ace.
He raises to $5 million.
All in.
All in and snap fold. How to lose 5 million chips in 3 seconds by John Sin.
And we have seen some really good reads from Cliff Josephy at this main event.
And the crowd goes wild.
Turned ace-deuce, too.
So you're raising the ace-3 and the ace-deuce,
I can't believe it, right? I would raise an ace-deuce on the button.
There you see some prominent names from this year's main event who recently hit the rail. Let's swing back to our other table of 7. It's been folded to Qui Nguyen in the small blind with ace-king of clubs. And he's going to raise it to $1.4 million. Tom Marchese in the big blind. Jack-10 of clubs.
Great poker mind. Co-wrote a book with Tree Wynn called The No Limit Hold'em Workbook, Exploiting Regulars. I guess I don't mind being called a regular instead of a donkey.
But you are a donkey.
You couldn't discuss me more if you tried.
Marchese calls for $1 million more.
Blind versus blind. Let's see if the great Tom Marchese can exploit the raccoon hat gambler.
8-9 tray, 1 club only out there. Ace high still best for Wynn. Marchese's open-ended. Wynn checks. 2 Las Vegas residents, which does save on the ridiculous hotel resort fees. Marchese checks back. 5 of clubs, both with club flush draws. Wynn has the ace of clubs.
And Tom Marchese now 1 club away from disaster. Sometimes missing a flush is luckier than making it. Marchese definitely doesn't want to make this one.
That's $1 million, 2 red chips to Marchese.
Marchese with 19 World Series cashes, but this is the first time he's been in the money at the main event.
That is surprising in itself. Marchese putting some of those oversized red chips in his hand, and there's a raise to $4 million. This is trouble on all fronts for Tom.
But Tom will be happy to know I normally would agree with the line he's taking here. He just committed more than 1/3 of his small stack, indicating to Wynn that he's willing to put the rest of it in if need be. And raising right here might work if Wynn didn't happen to turn the nut flush draw.
And there is just a call from Wynn with a much bigger chip stack. River card is a club, a card Marchese thought he wanted to see.
Ouch.
Wynn with the ace-high flush.
And since this is Marchese's first main event cash, he might not know where the payout desk is.
A check to Marchese from Wynn. That's crafty.
How does Wynn check the ace-high flush there? What's the chances Marchese would normally bet here?
All in.
All in and out.
See you later, Tom.
Oh, and a call.
Marchese gets coolered.
Oh my God.
Ship it.
No way around that. Wow. Crushing main event final hand for Tom Marchese.
His first main event cash is a very good one. Qui Wynn with almost 42 million chips now. Qui Wynn's crowd loves what they see. Let's go down to Kara now with our 14th place finisher.
Tom, even when we were down to, say, 100 left, a lot of people were saying that you were, tipped to be one of the best players left in the field, coming this deep in the main event. Talk to us from your perspective, what this has been like.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even cashed the main event before, so to go this far, like the first time I cashed, and in some ways it's like found money. I'm obviously a little disappointed right now, but it is what it is.
You've played, clearly, a lot of tournaments in your career. Is there anything in this one that surprised you or that kind of stands out to you?
I would say it's really like a question of your stamina. I mean, it's crazy how like day in and day out, you just get a few hours off at the end of the day and then you're just back playing the next day. And it really is important just to always be playing your best and try not to make mistakes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Gary.
Down the stretch, I would have put money on Marchese winning this thing. It's a good thing I don't have money.
All right, we need to get back to Tom's former table because short-stacked Aussie James Opes is all in with pocket fives, and Qui Wynn has tens on the button.
Opes got unlucky against Michael Ruan straight flush, then made a bad laydown against Wynn. Now he shoves with 10 big blinds left.
Just 10% of Wynn's stack, no small blind. That would have been Marchese. Hallaert folds a big, and so Qui Wynn in line for another knockout in back-to-back hands.
Qui Wynn's become a one-man wrecking crew. First he wrecked Tom Marchese's main event, now he's trying to finish off James Opes.
Opes, a 25-year-old who has overcome so many health issues. He's got a tall order to fill here against Qui Wynn. And after this rush, Qui is never taking that hat off, Norman.
Well, thank goodness his rail also doesn't have raccoon hats.
Qui Wynn with the tens, Opes all in with fives. Here's the flop. No five, but Opes likes the small cards and their potential.
Not too much in there for James Opes.
Wynn still way ahead with the tens. Turn card now. And Opes is open-ended now.
That's how you quintuple your outs with a single turn of a card. Opes looking for a 5, deuce, or 7 now.
River card, not what Opes wanted. And I see a call to Qantas Airlines in his immediate future. Wynn does it again, and a fine run for James Opes comes to a halt in 13th place.
I had a straight flush that hand, dude. You ran the today, man.
And suddenly Qui Wynn a big factor here.
He is unstoppable with back-to-back knockouts. He'll stack over 46 million chips. From the back of the pack to nearly leading it now, Qui Wynn sprinting to the final table. Josh Weiss switching locations.
Josh who?
That keeps the two tables balanced as evenly as possible. Whichever table he's at, he needs a double up soon with only 18 big blinds in his stack. Nearly $225,000, the difference between 12th and 11th, a big pay jump, Norman.
And 3 first-timers remaining. Vietnamese-born Qui Wynn, Spanish-born Fernando Pons, and Korean-born, Milwaukee-residing Mike Shin.
Let's go, Mikey. Go, Mike. Milwaukee's on the map now.
Yeah, right.
Milwaukee has a lot of really good players, and a lot of people are not known to public, but I mean, I'm trying to put them on the map, maybe next time we'll go somewhere and tell them we're from Milwaukee, maybe they'll recognize us, then not just laughing at us,
He's a really well-rounded player. Discipline is definitely something of his strong suit.
If you watch him, he hasn't made many mistakes this tournament.
Appreciate all their support, obviously. Hope I make it to November 9th, so we could party and stuff, I'm glad they're here.
Mike Shin with ace-7 of the big blind calls the raise from Czech Republic's Wojciech Ruzicka with king-jack suited. Here's the flop, heads up. And Shin finds an ace. Ruzicka left with just king high.
Flopping an ace is nice, but without a good kicker, you're often in prevent defense, and we know what that prevents, Lon.
It prevents you from winning.
Exactly.
Shin checked it. Ruzicka now. Hoping Shin doesn't have the ace.
C1 bets 1.15.
1,150,000.
Without a good kicker in football, you also don't win very often.
C4 calls.
Nicely done. A call from Shin. Turn card now. 8 of clubs, pair of aces for Shin, still good. Nut flush draw for Ruzicka now.
Shin runs a bunch of cell phone stores in Milwaukee. Sadly, there are no new customers to be had at the poker table, as no one ever looks up from their phone to have a conversation.
Except Mr. Will Kassouf. Remember him?
Yes, I do.
Shin check to Ruzicka. And Wojciech putting a big bet together. That is $3,425,000.
Indeed, Ruzicka can continue to bluff with vim and vigor, picking up the nut flush draw. He also has 2 overs to 3/4 of the board.
Shin trying to win this world championship for Milwaukee. They have the longest drought of any major city now. After Cleveland took down the NBA title last year, Milwaukee, top of the list. And a call from Shin.
If I say something nice about Mike, I wonder if he can get me more data. I'm always running out of data.
Queen of clubs. Ruzicka rivers the nut flush. And another check from Shin.
Ruzicka was having a terrible summer before the main event. Was way in the red. Things have turned around.
Wojciech. I'm all in. Says all in. Enough to put Shin all in.
I don't think Mike Shin is calling off the rest of his chips with a weak ace.
Yep, not a difficult fold, but a disappointing one for Shin. And Mike and his Brewtown buddies can ill afford to keep leaking chips. Wojciech Ruzicka moves into 7th.
But he lost some value there. A smaller river bet, he might get paid off.
So the chip leader to start day 7 wins a nice pot there on the river. Wojciech enjoying his first main event cash, looking to be the first player ever from the Czech Republic to win the main event.
Ruzicka studied cryptography at Charles University in Prague. Do you know how many good cryptography jobs there are worldwide? He had to play poker.
Come on, with all the NCIS shows on TV, there's got to be a few extra. Okay, Wojciech has the action. He looks down at pocket 8s.
He says playing golf has made him a better poker player. Lon, I think playing poker has made you a better golfer.
Man, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Ruzicka raises to 800,000, around 2 Shin with ace king.
He just lost with a weak ace to Ruzicka. Very next hand, he picks up a big ace.
Wow, with a lot of people, ace king is already all in here.
I like guys who don't go crazy with ace king. Why not see a flop once in a while?
He just calls, and good thing. Look at the big blind. Win with queens.
The raccoon hat sitting in the catbird seat.
I need that hat, Norman. Win with the biggest stack, a 3-bet to 2,700,000.
And from the big blind, a great spot for Win to squeeze here with a raise and call in front of him. Plus, he actually has a huge hand. You know, Ruzicka might even 4-bet here, figuring Win is making a move.
Wojciech makes the call now to Shin. He just wanted to see a flop with ace king.
I'm all in.
Shin now looking for a double up or maybe a triple up.
Well, I was happy Shin wasn't going crazy with ace king. Now he 4-bet shoves with more than 30 big blinds left.
Win makes the call. Ruzicka with his 8s.
See ya.
Folds, and now it is Qui Win going for his third knockout in short order.
Yeah, he just knocked out Tom Marchese. He just knocked out James Obst. Now Qui Win can knock out Mike Shin.
What a rush for Qui Win. Mike Shin and his buddies from Milltown hoping to extend his party.
In this position for your main event life, ace-king feels like a really weak ace.
Here's the flop. No ace, no king. Win still good with the pocket queens.
Qui Win in great shape to amass a huge chip stack.
Turn card. 8 of diamonds. Ruzicka from the sideline sees he would have turned a set.
Qui Win paces, but it's Mike Shin who needs an ace or a king, or he's gone.
The river card, a queen! Win pours it on, rivering the set to knock out Mike Shin. Good fold, Wojciech. 12th place for Shin, and a monster payday for this talented amateur.
And this guy's the chip leader? I thought he plays Baccarat.
I'm buying a dozen of those hats. We had the Will Kassouf show earlier in the main event. Now this is turning into the Qui Win show. Wow! Over the course of a poker player's life, these few days at the main event are just a tiny fraction of their career, but they are also memories that will last forever. A huge accomplishment, but also the lingering feeling of what could have been.
I mean, if you tell me at the first day that I'm going to get out in, what is it, 11th or 12th? 12th, I'll be happy with it. But obviously I am disappointed because I was so close to it. But hey, we'll take a shot next year.
The blinds are up to 250,000, 500,000, a 75K ante, 11 players left.
I just get to play with Johnny. It's fun.
I'm thinking about it. A little shot right now.
Josephy and Benger to see the flop. Benger with 7-6 again. This time it's suited. Sevens for each. Cliff with the better kicker.
Check. We play quick. Yeah, quickly.
Check, check. Josephy still leads. Benger open-ended now. He checks again. $1 million. Boy, they play quick without Kassouf.
Heads up, 2 online monsters. Benger up and down straight draw with a pair. Looks pretty good.
He makes a call for $1 million. River card. 9 of hearts. Benger rivers a straight as Josephy collects 2 pair.
Sometimes we have action flops. This could be an action river.
Benger checks, hoping Cliff repeats his earlier actions. He does. $3 million this time from Cliff. Benger just calls. 2 pair, no good here.
Nice hand.
Josephy had no doubt his hand was good. It was not.
When Benger looked down at his hand pre-flop, he was thinking about that straight. He stuck around and it paid off. There's a college for sports media, Norman. We could at least be substitute teachers.
Oh, yeah.
We always speculate about value bets. Maybe Phil Locke and Antonio Esfandiari can help us with the end of that hand.
This is the end. My beautiful friend. Phil, it's been a pleasure to watch you work, to see how your brain operates, to be here with your amazing clothes. Unfortunately, this is the end for us.
Wow, you think they'll have me back next year?
Probably not.
Well, if you could just hypnotize them.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thanks.
In this hand, I think both players played perfectly fine.
They did. Benger checks a straight. Sounds a little, feels a little weird, but it's not because he's collecting on all the bluffs that Josephy may do. We don't know that he has a 7-9 yet. He could have a missed draw. And it's only the third nuts. Check, I like the check.
Right, and Josephy goes for value with 9-7. A lot of people are thinking, well, there's a straight out there. Why would he bet? It's hard to make a hand and hold them, and just because there's a straight on the board doesn't mean your opponent has it. And so I think you have to go for max value when you have a hand. I think it's a clear bet on Josephy's side.
Yep, and a clear check with the straight.
Griffin gets some congratulations from his girlfriend, and as that's happening, Gordon Veo with ace-king called John Sin's short stack shove with queen 10.
Sin push with 8 big blinds, automatic call from Veo, and everybody retreats from the table. This could catch on at Fortune 500 board meetings.
An anxious crowd with their eyes glued on the overhead screen. Will we soon be 10-handed at a single table? John awaiting his fate. Oh, and in repose on the stage.
Well, he's found his special place to watch his main event fate.
All right, here we go. A queen for Sid, but a king for Veo also.
Jack,
Why do they always call for the card that will give them a draw rather than the card that would give them the lead?
Wynn's been on a rush. Veo also has been on a big rush here on day 7. And an ace. Ace is up for Veo, but it gives Sin an extra out with a Broadway draw.
And now John Sin needs a jack or queen to win the hand and stay alive for the November 9.
The river card. A 6, spelling the end of John Sin's night and 2016 main event.
Good hand, man. Good hand.
So the former IT consultant turned poker pro with his finest hour playing the game, $650,000 his reward. Gordon Veo makes room for 47 million chips. The lead is we're down to 10. The subplot, Gordon Veo's meteoric rise into 3rd place. There are many bubbles at the main event, but this is the biggest one, the final table bubble. Footnote or future, that's the difference. Table draw so important, but for short stack Josh Weiss, a double up as soon as humanly possible is critical, and like most bubbles, big stacks love to bully the small stacks. 1 table, 10 players, 9 reservations available for the finale. Cliff Josephy with the 2nd biggest stack, over 60 million. Under the gun, a raise to 1.1 million, setting the tone.
3 of our final 10 players, Gordon Veo, Jerry Wong, and Griffin Benger, have dogs. And I just want to give a shout out to my own 2 Pit Lab mixes, Sapphire and Cole, who I know are watching tonight.
Josephy with a suited Jack 10. It's been folded to Griffin Benger with queens.
You don't want to play against a big stack here unless you have a big hand. And even then, you'd prefer to sit back and wait for that final knockout that puts you into the November 9.
From his over 35 million chip stack, a re-raise from Benger to 3.4 million. Qui Wen doesn't have a hand to play. Hey, Josephy now with the action.
Josephy sitting comfortably with the 2nd biggest stack, 60 million. Benger in the middle of the pack with 35 million.
Jack 10 suited holds a lot of possibilities if you're willing to invest, and Josephy does call, so these 2 talented players heads up again. Here's our flop. 5, 5, 10. Benger now with queens up. Josephy with 10s up, and Cliff checks.
Great flop for Benger's pocket queens. Very little chance Josephy has a 5.
Griffin took control pre-flop. Looks like he wants to continue here with the best hand. He bets 3.3 million.
And if you're Josephy, it's possible Benger 3-bet pre-flop with ace-king or ace-queen suited, and your 2 pair might be ahead here.
Cliff calls.
Well, Josephy's 10s and 5s aren't good. He's got a 9% hand.
Turn card now. Almost 15 million in the middle. Turn is another 10. Josephy rewarded for sticking it out. 10s full of 5s.
Must be clean living.
Wow.
Cliff goes from 9% to 95%.
And Josephy wants to lead out now. That's 5.5 million.
I didn't expect that. Cliff Josephy certainly representing the 10 with that wager, and now it's getting serious for Griffin Benger. It's a mind game. I might figure if he had the 10, he would check here and let me fire again. So if he is betting, maybe he doesn't have it.
5.5.
Benger makes the withdrawal and puts it in play. River card now is a jack. Cliff improves on every street now with a better full house than he had before. He led out on the turn. He's certainly going to put chips into play here. $13 million, half the pot, and a snap fold from Griffin Benger.
Nice hand, Cliff.
Nice hand, Cliff. Nice quick fold from Griffin.
An emotional and profitable day 7 for Benger, but that stung. He loses a third of his chips. Once again, Cliff Josephy is the chip leader.
Cliff, how sick is Cliff if he leads here? When the 10 paired, I was thinking to myself.
Cliff's a great player, but that one was a layup for him. The 10-handed bubble continues at the main event.
Alex Turiansky bubbled in November 9 last year.
1 elimination to go before we shut it down and reconvene with our final table. Wong folds ace-queen. Josh Weiss with just one big blind says all in with ace-8. Any takers now? Who wants to play the hero?
Did Josh Weiss late reg this event? I'd never seen him here before an hour ago.
All right, Josephy on the button. Gives it up.
How much is it?
Ruan with a big stack and Jack 5.
It's next to nothing for him.
He's already got chips invested in the small blind.
He's got a raggedy hand, but he can knock out Weiss cheaply.
Ruan makes the call in the big blind now. Veo, queen 7 calls.
Good luck. Weiss, 35-year-old San Diego lawyer and poker player with 20 World Series cashes.
I'm the only one at the table rooting for you.
Weiss at risk. Is this our November 9 moment? Here's the flop. Weiss in trouble. Ruan with top pair. Veo with middle pair. 5 on the turn. Ruan with jacks up. Weiss drawing dead. A 4 of clubs on the river.
Nice hand, Josh.
Ruan will take it.
Oh, my God.
Josh Weiss, our 10th place finisher. The rest are November 9ers, class of 2016.
Thank you.
The end of day 7 belonged to 2 men, Cliff Josephy and Qui Nguyen. Combined, they have about 42% of the chips in play. Could make for a very interesting final table.
Cliff Josephy, the oldest player left at age 50, the only bracelet winner left, and our chip leader.
Everything went right today. Everything went right today. Such a dream. I've been watching ESPN, WSOP coverage for like the last 15 years. It's really amazing to be in this spot.
The dream of all poker dreams comes true for this year's November and October 9.
I have absolutely no perspective. I don't even think the money is real. I still kind of think this is a bit of a dream.
It's surreal. I don't even know how to explain it. It's surreal. I can't even put it into words.
Tonight was a night for goodbyes.
That was a fun ride, guys. Good luck.
And one big hello to the final table. Josephy, Benger,
We made it. We did it.
Ruan and the rest of the November 9 continue their chase for $8 million and the main event bracelet next Sunday night live. For Norman, Chad, and Kara Scott, I'm Lon McCarran. We hope you enjoyed this run up to the final table. We'll see you October 30th.